Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to America's Third Party. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm David Sponheim, running for president in 2016. We are doing the unthinkable, challenging the two parties that clearly have complete control over our government's political environment and think that nobody will ever stop them because they control the media. And they're very happy that they've been able to keep me out of the media for the past 7 years, going on 8 years. They feel very empowered that they can keep an individual down. Donald Trump thinks that he's effectively taken 6 of my ideas and no one knows. And he's effectively shunned the American people from the truth, where we've been talking for the past 7 years about a 1,000-mile fence. And Donald Trump took the idea, warped it into a wall, which cannot be built in more than, it would take 10 years to build a wall. We can build a fence in 1 year. Then he somehow claimed that Mexico was going to pay for it, and presidents of Mexico said no effing way. Now, mind you, I've never used the F word on my show, so saying effing is kind of a risky thing for me to do. But the fact is, Donald Trump is engaged in a series of copycat maneuvers to derail the Republicans, and he managed to get rid of Kasich and, of course, Ted Cruz. And I've been saying all along, these guys didn't have what it takes to take on the ballistic missile to the Republican Party, which is Donald Trump. He is a hostile takeover artist, and he needs to be dealt with by a person who is absolutely unhinged and unfiltered. And that would be me. Nothing prevents me from saying what is on my mind. I don't have teleprompters rolling along in my show keeping me going. Everything I say comes from the inside of my soul, because I see our country collapsing, and I see a dictatorial fascist named Donald Trump trying to take over our nation using my ideas, and then turning against Muslims, turning against women, turning against disabled people, turning against Latinos, and now he wants to win the Republican nomination. I mean, this is out of this world. Nobody can imagine anybody with so much money and such a big mouth systematically derailing a party that's been playing political correctness games with the Democrats. Well, I don't play political correctness. I play political directness. And I will be directly working on your understanding of the dangers of having a fascist for a president. And at the same time, I'm going to be discussing the dangers of having a Marxist like Hillary or Bernie as a president. And we've got a green-eyed girl here. We haven't seen you in a while. Are you okay? Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I can't even go there. Yeah, thanks, Scissor Fight. I won't even click that link. The media is being warped around framing this Republican candidate in a certain way. I doubt the Republicans can come up with an honest alternative to a dishonest man. They need to get a guy like me in there in the nomination committee and discuss things to the crowd of Republicans. I'm not a Republican, but I can tell you my centrist beliefs will be very appealing to fiscal conservatives like the Tea Party followers. We have every bit in mind to cut the size of our budget by as much as 50%. We've got an austere budget plan that will include a zero deficit for 2017. Tea Party people are going to love me. But at the same time, I've got issues that I grapple with, like the chemtrail problem, that I'm taking a huge risk just talking about it. But I'm not the only one. There's a few other people out there, like Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel has exposed recently the chemtrail problem on his Facebook page. Fast and Furious star Vin Diesel, I'll give you guys the link to this, has gone public on chemtrails, lending support to the theory that U.S. government are spraying poisonous chemicals into the atmosphere in order to slowly poison and dumb down members of the public. Now, I've been saying this for many years now, and we're even going to come out with a chemtrail website coming up. I'm working on it, which will show you my commitment to stopping chemtrails. And that means that the American people are waking up when a star as big as Vin Diesel is starting to talk about it. Big stars are discussing the reality that we're being doused like insects with chemicals that our government doesn't even know to talk about it. But they've done studies. They've got university reports. They show you how they do geoengineering. They even talk about their theories behind what they're doing, but they won't go public with it. Instead, they want you to think that anyone talking about chemtrails is a whack job. Now, Donald Trump has never mentioned chemtrails. Hillary Clinton has never mentioned chemtrails. Heck, they won't even make a comment about GMOs in our diet. They won't make a commitment against RFID chipping of our children, or us for that matter. And as you know, I'm against forced vaccinations as well. And I'm also against fluoride in our water system. I see it as a complete dangerous chemical to be putting into our water system, causing lowering of the IQ of our children and ourselves. So I will definitely, as a presidential command, will be to pull fluoride from our municipal water system. And I will check it too, independently from the other branches of government. We'll have test kits you'll go directly to the White House with. And we'll be doing water checks across the country from people who submit samples, just to verify that they're doing what I tell them to do. Now, with Donald, you get a two-party crony. With Hillary, you get a two-party crony in the back pocket of the Federal Reserve. Both of them are working simply as puppets for the World Bank as they continue to control our destiny as a country. Images show a New Jersey escaped inmate at a Barnegat CVS. Okay, we've got pictures of a New Jersey escaped inmate who was just seen at a CVS, folks. If you see this man, contact authorities in your area. Police are searching for Arthur Buckell, who escaped from the Ankara unit of Bayside State Prison in Hamilton, New Jersey. Yeah, so definitely if you see his face anywhere, let me blow it up here. He was just spotted at a CVS just a few minutes ago. Contact local authorities, folks, if you see this person. All right. So let's talk about what's really happening here, besides Jim Ford getting banned from the show. Jim Ford, you're like the first banned person on the show since we unbanned all. You know, I wash my clothes in water that is fluoridated. I'll admit that, yeah. You know, I don't know how much of that fluoride is being, transferred into my body when I wear a shirt, a cotton shirt. I can't tell you that. Hey there, Sunstar. Welcome. Yeah, hi. You're okay, thank you. Just been busy with real life. Green-eyed girl has been involved with her real life. That's good. It's good to have a real life. For some of us who are, without a real life, I have a real life. But some people are confined to a wheelchair. Some people are, unable to share with their own family member that they're concerned about chemicals. Some people in this chat room are sitting there knowing full well that if they go into the other room and talk about chemtrails over the sky, that their wife is going to go, "Oh, honey, you are such a whack job." So they don't talk about it with their family. I know there are people in this room like that. But you're here because we're sharing ideas. This isn't some fringe subculture forming. These are people awakening. It's going to take your family a long time to realize that they're subjected to this. Good. I'm glad your wife at least believes you. A lot of you are having to fight that, and you don't need to. Don't break up your relationship over chemtrails. Just say, hey, let's agree to disagree here, okay? Yeah, Sarah and I didn't agree at all on chemtrails for like a few years. But I'm thinking she's probably becoming more and more concerned because I pointed them out as we drive. It's like, yeah, look what they're doing here. And then typically 2 days later, we get some winds and then the rain. We're supposed to be projecting hot weather here, and I'm seeing cool weather. So everything's kind of upside down in terms of the weather here in Washington. I'm sure that's true in your area too, chemically wise. All right, so we've got a lot of issues going on. We had a nuclear problem.
Good evening, friends. We start tonight with the escalating situation at the Hanford nuclear site, America's largest nuclear waste storage facility in the state of Washington. Local environmentalists say outdated tanks are leaking thousands of gallons of highly radioactive chemicals into the ground and potentially the Columbia River.
Yeah, and this is a story I've been talking about for the past 8 years. Our governor recently, like 3 years ago when he first became governor, he said, "Oh, we've got to stop that. I didn't know that was happening." And I've known about this for 8 years. And, ironically, our governor here in Washington hasn't made another comment about it. he was told by the people probably at the Nuclear Regulatory Commission that it's kind of a problem we're not going to deal with right now. You know what I'm saying? The Columbia River can have a little bit of radiated water. It's no big deal, you know. So they're taking a complete hands-off approach at the government level here in Washington. Nobody's doing anything. Contaminants are leaching into the rivers. Huge amounts of oil are sitting in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, killing off countless dolphins and fish. Radiation is leaking from the Pacific Ocean, but oh no, they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to discuss anything that's happening across the globe. The president won't talk about it. But you know, he is going to make a statement about clean water and fresh air. Yeah, as soon as Flint, Michigan forced Barack Obama to make an appearance after, 3 months? He finally did, and now he's going to turn out a big statement about fresh air and clean water. Oh yeah, right. While he will not admit to the chemtrail problem, he will not admit to the fluoridation problem in our water, he will not admit to the toxicity issues on the West Coast and in the Gulf of Mexico. But yet he's going to talk about clean water and fresh air. Isn't that nice? Snappy, you're lucky to even be in here. We talked about a technology that I'd love to integrate into our plan to save the nation. And it is a very cool idea that was originally developed by Kevin Costner's brother. And Kevin Costner seeded this with $26 million in operation costs. We need to get this thing rolling. This is what I'm talking about. It's a Veraxial separator, Model 8000. It takes in the oil mixed with the water and sucks. Yeah, Dancing with Wolves, Kevin Costner. His brother came up with an idea similar to this.
By adding a few gallons of crude, a simulated oil spill disaster is created. The Richter system goes to work at an incredible rate of speed to remove the oil from the water, pumping up to 5,000 gallons per minute. The contaminated water is sucked out of the pool and into a tube. It spins very rapidly, creating a vortex. The oil, which is lighter than water, is forced into the middle of the pipe. Here is the core of oil surrounded by the water.
See how this is done? That's great. So we can suck that out and right into a separation container, and we can actually harvest oil from the ocean bottom and begin cleaning this up with massive barges that suck that right into that hole and then put it into containers, and we can use that oil. But do you see Obama or Hillary or Donald talking about any of this? No. They won't even mention chemtrails. So we clearly are breaking through new ground in politics, and our country needs something like this, like yesterday. We haven't had anybody as strong as I am on green energy and clean green technology. But I can tell you that my plans are just beginning. I have a goal to get our country in a positive growth area with new products, innovations. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's just talk a little bit about what we're going to do here. The Ocean Pipeline Project is a chance to create fresh water in California and prevent the drought from happening. We've got mobile medical units that we can deploy at the VA. 200 units like this will be made in 2017 when I'm president and distributed around every city in America to alleviate the cost of healthcare and provide low-cost healthcare visits, $30 a visit, ideally. And if you're a veteran, you get free care. If you're poor, you could write an affidavit saying you don't have any money and you get free care. And then we have this preeminent great plan to create jobs. The job plan is a combined solar rooftop installation plan where we can roll out solar carpeting that will provide amazing energy solutions, lowering your energy bill by as much as 30 or 40%, and will pay back the cost of the infrastructure using the electric savings off your electric bill. And this will roll out using the U.S. military. I'll be doing this as a government operation. We're not going to wait for venture capitalists like the Democrats did with Solyndra. And best of all, our homestead renewal plan will be a way to create a lot of jobs, shovel-ready jobs. People can paint walls, fix things up. It's all good. Yeah. So these are ways to fix up houses and improve neighborhoods and get people a house. You'll be able to own a house in 10 years with $500 a month payments. And this house will be built to last. You'll have a 40-year roof on it. We'll probably have a solar panel on that roof as well. Yeah. So all these ideas you don't get from the two parties. Nothing like this. And thankfully Donald hasn't taken any of these ideas, but he's taken 6 of my clincher ideas, the ideas that win elections, like my idea of no individual mandates. He's talking about that. He has no clue what a mandate is. Many people are beginning to think that Donald is illiterate, that he may not even be able to read. We're not sure because he hasn't read the Constitution. He wants to usurp that. Okay, we also have this idea of 10% flat tax on income over $100,000. Way better than Donald's idea. Donald has got some ridiculous plan where he wants to tax everybody. This won't have any tax for people that make less than $100,000. So if you got a struggling family, you're paying your kids a tuition, and you come into under $100,000, you will not have to pay taxes under this plan. We will not support a renewable marriage license. No. In fact, there's evidence that marriage licenses don't even have a place in government. The poor are already getting a free ride. Snappy, you're not going to stop that. We just need to make it affordable. Right now, we're getting ripped off by slumlords, people that suck in your tax dollars, if you are paying taxes, just so they can continue to make money. Yeah, slumlords have been making all that money. The government could return vouchers to people for a house or a motel room with a kitchenette, and they'd be able to get money back. Say our government had motels with kitchenettes out there that were perfectly functional. We'd be able to get vouchers back. That's the way we loop the capital. So our concept of looping capital is based on our book, which we wrote, called Hybrid Capitalism. Spend some time looking for it now. I had it out here earlier. So some of you are getting frightened by the idea of having Hillary as your president. Well, that's nothing compared to having a fascist dictator who reads Hitler's speeches as your president. Or having a president that does nothing but play in the gym and act like he's working out for his lover. So we have a lot to be concerned about right now, between the dangers of the left, the Marxists, and the dangers of the right. The most troubling thing about Donald Trump is he's got this reference in Jeffrey Epstein's book where they talk about Donald Trump being in the blacklist of Jeffrey Epstein. Who is Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein is the guy that Newsweek profiled in 2015 as a man who has an island where Bill Clinton has been on it. He was arrested for child sex with a child, pedophilia, and Prince Andrew and Bill Clinton have been seen there. Yeah, so Donald Trump is implicated in this book that his butler, Jeffrey Epstein butler, found, and this story hasn't gone live in the mainstream media. They've suppressed this story, so it's a big, huge, powerful story that'll not only derail Donald Trump, but it'll derail Hillary Clinton too, because she's been protecting Bill Clinton all these years and his sexcapades. We know for a fact he had oral sex with his, actually sodomy with Monica Lewinsky in the Oval Office. So it's not like I'm making this stuff up. So there's a lot of reasons to be concerned about both Hillary and Donald on many different levels. Now, when I'm talking about the chemtrail problem, I want you also to know we have behind this is a corruption problem that's worse than ever in our country's history. We are literally dealing with the most corrupt people in the country running our country right now. Truly a dangerous situation. So we're looking at that as a solid reason to stop voting two-party, okay? Again, a person implicated in a child sex ring with known connections to Bill Clinton is not in any way nullified because of his credibility factor. The fact that he was charged with sex with a child should make you understand that anyone who affiliates with him is automatically in question. It's not like you can impugn his character. It's already basically carrying a load with it. You're trying to make it so that nothing about him is irrelevant to anything, when in fact he's good friends with Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. So yeah, not old news. It never even got to the mainstream media, Kool-Aid Anthrax. This story has never gotten to the mainstream media, ever. When it hit Newsweek, it was not even mentioned on the TV networks. So yeah, check it out. You knew about it, but that's you on the blogosphere, Kool-Aid Anthrax. That's not you watching TV going, honey, could I get a beer? What? Did you hear Bill Clinton was at an orgy island? Oh my God, honey, can you believe this? Hillary's protecting him. Oh my God, Trump has been on his blacklist of clients. Wow. Honey, did you hear this? It hasn't gotten to that. Yeah. So we clearly have a corruption problem. But at the very bottom of this entire problem in America, and that's really what I want to get to, is the fresh water problem. We don't have enough fresh water. No, I don't need mods, man. I'm sorry. We don't take mods here. Thanks anyway. We need more fresh water. And no matter whether you're Democrat or Republican, surely you know that California is running out of water. So clearly we need solutions to this problem, and it's not going to come around with some pie-in-the-sky idea. It's going to come around with an idea that has already been tested and works. Our Ocean Pipeline project will guarantee a total of 250,000 gallons of fresh water if we ran a pipeline of modules connected from LA to Vegas. We can get 250,000 gallons of fresh water to the people of Las Vegas. That's more than double what they need. That's actually triple what they need. We can then send water off in different directions to Flagstaff, Phoenix, Tucson, anybody that needs water in that region. And we can store it. So obviously you need to get a president who has great new ideas. And you're not going to get that with a guy who just copies and pastes everything anybody ever does before him. Okay, tomorrow is our technology Thursday night, but I wanted to show you what we're going to talk about in advance. There's nanobot micromotors delivering nanoparticles through living creatures. I don't know what they're spraying in the air, but I mean, when I read this article last night, I was shocked. Researchers working at the University of California have claimed that world's first proving that artificial microscopic machines can travel inside a living creature and deliver their medicinal load without any detrimental effects. Using micromotor-powered nanobots propelled by gas bubbles made from a reaction with the contents of the stomach in which they were deposited, these miniature machines have been successfully deployed in the body of a live mouse. I don't know, but my brain cells may be involved here. I don't know if I want nanobots just roaming through our bloodstream without any precautions being taken. I mean, this is getting a little weird, don't you think? No, I don't want to talk about negative things here, and I don't get high during our show. Yeah. Thank you for asking that. Yeah, and then there was one GOP nominee and no GOP ideas. You see, the problem with the GOP is they never let a guy like me into the mix and let me do what I need to do, which is to disassemble the BS coming out of Donald Trump's mouth. and show everyone for, the liar that he is. Taking 6 of my ideas and not even laying claim to those ideas shows me a very disreputable character. It doesn't in any way make me trust this guy. Now, the Rolling Stone is now asking Trump to stop playing their songs. He takes from everybody. He'll take from the Rolling Stones, too. He doesn't care. He doesn't pay any royalties. This is what he does. He's like a shark in the water, and he eats the Republican Party up for food, for dinner. The Rolling Stones have asked presumptive Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump to stop playing their songs at his campaign events. In a statement Wednesday, the rock band said they have not given permission to the Trump campaign to use their songs and have requested that they cease all use immediately. A Trump campaign spokeswoman didn't immediately respond to a request to comment or say if they had a license to play their songs. Yeah, he's an avid music fan, Trump is, and he's featured their songs at rallies and never paid him a dime. You see what I'm talking about here, folks? A disreputable character. You know, he talks about Hillary being unreliable. He's disreputable. He's a guy who's had 4 corporate bankruptcies under his belt. Cat's tail, you should care because the Republican Party is on its way out. If you were a Republican, you would be concerned. I urge you to vote centrist. I think a lot of you are going to realize the centrist party, America's third party, is the way to go. You can't just ignore the simple fact that the Americans really are mostly centrists. We may differ on a lot of subjects, and I would be amenable to at least adjusting our ideas to fit a 2/3 majority of the country. But I in no way want to just abandon a third party because you think that it will never win. We have a little bit of both of the parties in our party. So we kind of have a little bit of the socially liberal part of the Democrats concerned for homelessness, but they've never done anything to stop homelessness. But a concern for the environment, equal rights, but not this cap and trade legislation the Democrats embrace or tax and spend. We don't do that. And with the Republicans, I'm more like a fiscal conservative, more like the Tea Party people. So we have a little bit of both parties. Well, if 64% don't want a wall or an electric fence or anything, then you should pipe up. We need 66 or 67% to say no to the wall or no to a fence. I think a lot of people want to protect their country. That's why the 1,000-mile fence idea really has galvanized a lot of people. $225,000 he's made on Wall Street. Wow. Interesting. I did not know that. Or she has. Okay. She's made a lot more than that on Wall Street. Yep. Pretending to be ignorant. You know that Hillary actually had access to searches on the internet. This came up. Trey Gowdy did talk about it once. Why were you looking for a way to get rid of your emails, Hillary? That was the really poignant question. Well, I didn't know that was happening. She literally was looking for a way to get rid of her emails. I mean, talk about complicity and a trail of evidence that should have easily have indicted her. Yet she somehow walked away, repeating the same thing over and over again. He was not a prosecuting attorney. He needed to be a strong prosecuting attorney. He wasn't. Trey Gowdy, I don't know what his legal background is. It's probably probate. But I'm not an attorney. But I can tell you, it came off as weak. And he caved constantly to threats that they were misstating things about top secret information. Hillary Clinton had definitely transferred 22 emails that were top secret through a public server. That's a known fact. And I'm surprised that the FBI hasn't prosecuted her for that alone. So there's a lot of things that were not discussed. And for the puppet Bernie Sanders to not even discuss Benghazi from the beginning of the debates, leaving it completely put behind the Democratic debates, shows you how completely corrupt the Democratic Party is. I want everybody to know that winning the presidency is going to take a long time. It's got a lot of effort you guys have to put in. I was thinking about this earlier when I was outside and was thinking, well, if people really want to promote us, it's going to take a big effort, even worldwide effort, to talk to people that who are Americans and tell them about this, how this third party is being censored in every way. And also mention that we do fully support legalization. And if you don't believe in legalization of marijuana, you don't know the statistics. Nobody's ever died from marijuana consumption. Yet people have died from tobacco and alcohol and all kinds of things. There is no physical component to the addiction. There is no physical addiction to marijuana. No, I will never drop out of a race. I'm in this for life. I told people I'm not going to give up at all. Yeah, this is an ongoing thing that continues every day. All right. I'm going to just re-emphasize the importance of marijuana by saying this. Legalization of marijuana will be the first thing I do as president, removing it from the list of controlled substances. But studies are showing that it actually prevents disease. It takes over the cancer cell, engulfs it, and makes it go away. It's been proven to stop lung cancer in 30% of the cases. It's just unbelievable. It's a phenomenal drug, or shall I say herb, and has every bit the potential to save everyone the suffering of being nauseous, even if you're on chemo. I'm going to say vape. Vape is the best choice because you don't get the resin, and you save a lot of that resin from going into your lungs. But vaping, once we get a tremendous amount of growth of marijuana, your families could actually grow it in your backyard and make money at our composting centers. We'll be able to give you cash for a good crop of marijuana, and the more potent, the more cash. We'll have a test kit to check potency at that location. But you imagine your son or daughter that's doing nothing right now, but she likes to work in the garden. And thank you, 600 viewers in Guam. Wow. You are able to vote. Yes, that's true. You can write my name in. Thank you so much. I've been composting all kinds of things for years. But our national composting plan really involves bringing in food waste from markets and restaurants from around the country and making sure that we don't have waste, because right now Americans waste 50% of the food that we get. People leave so much food on the table that it just goes in a dumpster and then ends up in a landfill. Okay, so that's a cool tool, a tweet search stream. Dropout Hillary has a long series of tweets coming in. Hillary she's got 60% right now. The numbers are showing the American people are being driven to Hillary. Some people who don't even vote, just mere looking at Donald and his extreme fascist views, are making people run in and want to vote for Hillary. They don't even know about me. It can trend all at once, but you remember, most of the people on Twitter are Trump supporters right now. So trending on Twitter means nothing. But yes, once we get these national composting centers up and running in every single area on federal land, we will also integrate an opportunity to have free or next to free fertilizer for people, like 50 cents a bag. And it will be an incredible value for people to get filled up if they're running diesel trucks. You'll be able to fill up right at the National Composting Center with a cheaper form of diesel. So a lot of things will be available. Once that diesel is prevalent, we'll actually get it out there. It'll be an alternative green diesel at the pumps. We'll still have the regular diesel for you hardcore truck drivers who don't want to depart from your original diesel formula. When you put in the green diesel, which is a form of hempylene, they call it, you're going to need 3 filter changes. Your diesel truck filters will clog up, but you can't go back once you go green. You have to stay green. You can go back, but you're going to be putting worse grade material into your engine. You see, green diesel or hempylene cleans out the engine, makes it run more efficiently. And I don't blame you for being scared of the change. Yeah. And believe me, we're going to test this out, the green diesel stuff out in test markets to see if it actually works. If it does clog the filters worse than we expect, you see, it's not the green diesel that's clogging the filters. It's literally cleaning your combustion chambers. So they have to be filtered out. Once you're clean after 3 filter changes, you're good to go. You'll never have another major filter change. It runs that clean. If you do, it'll be like on a 100,000 mile basis. But the concept is very simple. It's just getting something that's viral, that's working in various states, 20 states now authorizing medical and recreational marijuana in some cases. It's the way to go. And the fact that Donald says he's never smoked, excuse me, I had to sneeze there a couple times. I know you never smoked marijuana. That's so funny. Yeah, I guess if you're going to lie to everybody, you might as well lie big, right? I don't lie. That's my goal. Is just honesty is my best policy. I don't understand how these people can say they've never smoked marijuana. I mean, everybody in here has probably smoked a little marijuana. Is anybody in here, have you ever not smoked marijuana? Anybody? Well, the green diesel won't void the warranty on the trucks that we authorize it. You're degenerate free. You didn't inhale? Yeah, right. Me. Yeah, lies. Yeah. You're smoking it now. Yes, lighting a bowl now, dude. Yes, I have smoked marijuana, and it's very enjoyable. It really relaxes you. Never had any gay experiences. No, never. Yeah, well, if you smoked everything that can be smoked, you're not even willing to commit to the idea of smoking marijuana, but he feels guilty that he smokes marijuana and enjoys it. I know all of the reasons why people don't admit it now, but you don't smoke coke, that's good. I never would do drugs. And I was so straight and narrow as a young man. I was a valedictorian in my high school class. And I didn't try marijuana until I was 21 years old. I never had a gay relationship or experience. I'm not into that. It's abhorrent to me. But the idea that I was working at a print shop, printing up T-shirts, running the back operations of a T-shirt thing going on, where I had to deliver 1,000 T-shirts a day, and I was exposed to chemicals. There were fans everywhere, but you could smell the inks when you walked around. No, James Gandolfini died a while back. Yeah. You're running late on your news. Breaking late news. Old breaking news. He's the Sopranos guy. Tony Soprano from The Sopranos. Yeah. No, my eyebrows are real. They're the same color as my hair, so they don't look... And my blonde eyelashes, you can't even see them. If I wore mascara, my whole face would change. I'd look like Prince. Okay. But I didn't smoke until I was 21. I remember the day that the guy who's actually owning the print shop, said to me, "Hey, Dave, you ever, want to smoke a bowl?" I said, "What? Smoke what? A bowl? I don't smoke bowls." He finally convinced me to get into the dark room that day, and they had a vent in the dark room, and he'd toke up a glass pipe. I'll never forget my first experience. I said, okay, I'm breathing inks, I'm driving to work on the 405 freeway every day, 30 miles each way, breathing fumes, I'm wearing my gas mask. I mean, why not? And I took one, inhalation of the best marijuana that was ever produced. It was called a Thai stick back in 1981. And man, it was like, whoa, my whole reality changed. And I definitely had a good experience. I mean, I can't say it was a bad experience. In the dark room, yeah. And, occasionally we would go in the dark room when, business was kind of, really getting busy, because I was delivering 1,000 shirts a day to rock groups around the country. I was delivering it to John Cougar before he became John Cougar Mellencamp. Jefferson Airplane's lead drummer, they ordered shirts for me, and I delivered them to Jefferson Airplanes. Yeah, it became Jefferson Airship right around that time. Lots of rock and roll related stuff, and I was working, full time, and then I took on another job when I was 18. And then another job. I was running 3 jobs. So I was really pumping, and I realized that, you can actually burn out working 85 hours a week. You got kicked off again? Really? Are you serious? Scissor Fight, nothing but problems getting in this chat room. No, I don't recommend marijuana and driving, folks. Even though it's safer than alcohol and driving, I do not recommend smoking a bowl and hitting the road. Be careful. Don't ever think for a second you're master of the highway, especially when you're compromised. It's amazing, isn't it, Scissor Fight? Absolutely. I never flunked out of college. When I was 18, I ran into the wall of Marxism. The same wall you guys are running into right now with Hillary and Bernie. I ran into that same wall of academic Marxists in the 1980s. And I told my department head, I said, I can't sit here and be indoctrinated into Marxism. I won't tolerate it. I won't get a degree here. And they said, okay, who cares? So they told a guy with 185 IQ to walk. And I did. I went into another college. I'm not going to name the name of the college I went to. I spent 6 weeks there. And I literally ended up auditing the whole 6 weeks because I could not believe how bad it was. But I can tell you that all of the UC system colleges are preaching Marxism. And they've infiltrated the White House. They've infiltrated our government. And they are literally turning our country into a Marxist slave to the world order, the global world order. I was accepted at Occidental, but I wasn't allowed to go because I didn't have any money. I couldn't afford to go to Occidental the year that Obama went. And I could not conform to the Marxist strategies of my political science professors at a couple universities. Okay, we've got carcasses of all kinds of things showing up on the shores of India, the coast of India. Death in the oceans, folks. If this is the one time in your voting history where you think that you need to do something different, you need to write my name in, David Sponheim, or help me get on the ballot in your state, either one. And you can go to our website and please become an elector. Just go to the Get Involved button and click the elector button and put your name and email address there. We'll get in touch with you. Look at the devastation, environmental devastation in India. To say that the Fukushima disaster is not a problem is absurd. It is clearly related. And for our government to not even mention it in the past 4 years, it's crazy. Marxism is a delusion. Everything that Karl Marx came up with is completely corruptible by greed. Absolutely. Greed corrupts everything. No matter what kind of form of economics you have, greed will take it over. If you've got bad leadership, it'll destroy it. We've got bad leadership, and yes, greed is inherent. You're looking at two greedy people running for office under the Republican and Democratic Party right now. So we are really, as a voter, you're up against way more than just the other guy on this election. You tried it the last time, voted for whatever you voted for, thinking it would stop the other guy. Both parties are controlled and operated by big money. Both of them get big $50,000 plate dinners. You keep getting kicked off, Scissor Fights, being kicked off his network. Wow, unbelievable, Scissor Fight. Sorry. I know. I see that, 4406. Yeah. They're purposely going after certain people like Scissor Fight, too. It's just unbelievable. Wow. I wish I could stop it, but we're waiting on blogtv.ca to open as an alternative broadcast and chat area. You know, you don't need to start a solar energy company if you've got $2,000. You can start an installation company once we roll out the solar carpeting. Yeah, you'll be able to install these things on rooftops. You'll be able to start your local installation company in your area, room service. And we'll give you a free education. In 6 weeks, you'll be able to know how to hook them up to inverters and get them all ready to go. Enough to modify your electric panel and make it work. This is going to be a plan to get these things out on American houses across the nation. So yeah, save your money. Put it in your trust fund for building your small business. Well, if it's nothing like the old site, then people won't be going for it. It's going to have the bells and whistles the old site had. We are also running an iVlog. We have an iVlog show we could easily do on a nightly basis. So we may have to shift gears if the censorship continues. But we are broadcasting right now the BCAM network. The video from the BCAM network is appearing on our website at America's Third Party, and you can get into the guest chat a little easier at our guest chat template at americasthirdparty.com. So if you guys are having problems, always go directly to our site. And you can watch last night's show, which is being uploaded. It is there. Last night's site is right there. There it is. Me looking shocked. And it's at that location. I don't know if I like the call letters at the very end, but I know. And I'm not going to necessarily cast at iVlog. I'm just, uVlog shut down. Yeah. I'm just going to look at new broadcast venues as we go along. Yeah. I don't think every uVlog had everything old Blog TV had at all. No. Bear in mind, Vaughn's success came as a result of us coming into the show. And now he's turning on us and censoring us. So all I can say is some people don't know a good thing when they've got it. I mean, people are coming from all around the world and clicking on his capacity server link, and he thinks he's making sales, and he's not. People aren't going to pay $15 a month for a server access to the show when they can see it somewhere else on BattleCam or whatever. Well, we're being censored by both parties. The same thing happened in my local election when I ran in 2014. I know, that's the thing. You're bringing 500,000 people into the show, and he's censoring it. Yeah, we're fighting an uphill battle, but we're going to win this. Now, you can go to America's Third Party and print this right up right now. Go to this website, americasthirdparty.com, and right-click, save as, and send the image to Office Max, Office Staples, Office Depot. They all will print this up for 99 cents. Color on cardstock. No, I don't hear any voices at all. No, there's no blackface version of the campaign unless you wanted to take a picture of the screen while I hold it over the... So you can get behind this voter revolt right now for as low as $2. You can print up 11 by 17 poster and put it in your front window of your house. No, my hair is just, it's tinted because it was a sunny day. Sunny day, talking about sunny day. Yeah, well, Ted Cruz didn't have the stamina, neither did Kasich. Nope. I had 90% of my signs stolen in the local election. I had 150 signs. I only came back with 11. More than 90%, probably 95%. Yes, I applied to Harvard, Princeton, Yale, and Stanford, even though it's not an Ivy League. I was rejected from Harvard, Princeton, Yale, and Stanford. I paid $35 to apply to each one of those schools, and they rejected me. I was a number one student in my high school class, in the top 98 percentile in SATs. And I had numerous college credits to my claim. I actually had gone through 2 years of college calculus at the age of 16 and college physics. So I've always already relatively ahead of the other people, and yet they didn't even want to pick me. I was really devastated. I'm not going to pretend like, oh, it was no big deal. It was devastating. I had my hopes set on a career in political science and law, actually. I went to UCLA, and I wouldn't recommend going to the UC system to anybody now because it's Marxist. It's run by academic Marxists who clearly have no clue as to what our country is going through. They're clinging to some ancient economic philosophy that doesn't apply to today. I was too smart for them. And many of my professors were using all kinds of tools to punish me. Ridicule. I would be sitting in a group of 300 or 400 students in a class at UCLA, and my professors would be trying to make people laugh at me, simply because I asked them questions they couldn't answer. Having accomplished so much in my life up to this point, and building this third party and showing people not only the diligence necessary to do the impossible, but show people the way to a better centrist plan for America, has given me a great sense of self-worth. I wouldn't have even been able to consider myself worthy of the presidency if I hadn't spent 7 years trying to communicate with the American people against all odds, censorship being the number one problem. No, I was a member of the crew at UCLA. I joined crew. And I went through a training period at crew where we would go up the mountains behind the campus there and, rowing. Well, I could have said I was Native American. I could have lied like Elizabeth Warren, but I'm not a liar. Now, you are okay with Elizabeth Warren lying about her heritage as a Cherokee Indian? I'm not. I'm very upset that you people think you should just lie to get into college. Now, Elizabeth Warren will be forced to take a genetic test when I become president. I will require her to do a genetic test to determine if she does indeed have 1/32nd Cherokee Indian in her bloodstream. She's got to prove that to me, or I'm going to be processing her with fraud charges and she'll be arrested. Defrauding the American government, affirmative action, lying about her status, becoming a minority professor at Harvard. I'm going to be doing some deep anti-corruption work when we take on some of the worst, most corrupt campuses in the country, Harvard being one of them. And I have a personal stake in Harvard because my great-great-great-grandfather was the founder of Harvard. He's one of the founders of Harvard. It will be an executive order, yes. Hillary and Bill will be investigated. Barack Obama will be charged with fraud. We will nullify Obamacare, and within a year we'll have a brand new system in place. It'll be an alternative system that we won't have to suffer the high prices of healthcare. We'll have mobile medical units like this one available for all of you to get everything from medicinal marijuana to generic medicine, all kinds of solutions like preventative solutions like a blood test. Yeah, my great-great-great-grandfather founded Harvard, so I have a very strong stake in making sure Harvard is accountable for their actions. You know, Warren and Sanders claim to be principled progressives, yet they support all the regressive policies Obama and the Democrats won't want to implement. Yeah. I don't agree with the left wing of the Democratic Party that's taking over. I don't have any delusions either. Everything I'm saying is accurate and true. I don't sign my autographs anymore. There's only about 10 signed copies of anything I've ever signed that I promoted early on, and I felt like we were going to get a lot more, and we didn't. So I stopped signing anything. The Supreme Court won't take cases like Barack Obama's birth certificate. We're going to go after them with the Justice Department. We are tired of waiting around. Supreme Court will never even take the cases, and it's very obvious that Barack Obama lied about his birth certificate and he created a forged copy. I have absolute 100% evidence that a copy that was presented by Loretta Fuddy to the attorney for Obama and transported across the country a couple weeks before Abbottabad happened, that was a fake copy. We have 100% evidence that it is actual Photoshop fraud, direct fraud. No, I don't. No, that's true. I don't know. My great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather founded Harvard. My mother's maiden name is very famous. I don't want to make a big deal about it, so I don't talk about it on the show. My name, Sponheim, is my father's side. We landed as immigrants. My family landed as immigrants in the 1860s. I'm not going to say that I'm not a Kennedy. No. Some people have me confused with Bobby or John F. Kennedy. I'm not a Kennedy. No, I don't have a histrionic personality disorder because I don't present any symptoms. Yeah. You know, there is an amazing histrionic personality disorder, which it's described as hebephrenic schizophrenia. It's when people paint their face with feces. I think that's absolutely the worst schizophrenia of all. Can you imagine walking around with feces on your face? Ask your doctor if you have hebephrenic schizophrenia. No, not DuPont, not Rockefeller, not Rothschild. I wasn't in Hyannisport with the Kennedys. when John F. Kennedy Jr. died, I wasn't there. What about the issues of the Cherokee freedmen? Yeah. All kinds of things we could talk about, yeah. The Native American plight of the Native. Would many of you like to see a new treaty for Native Americans so that they could get more money on casino profits? No, I don't need mental help, I assure you. You need mental help. You keep coming in this room harassing me, committing a felony stalking law. Nope, I'm good. Hey, look, I've never lied to any of you about anything, and you'll find all that out when all of my records are exposed with a subpoena. Yeah. I'll be glad to share with you my iSchool IQ test once they subpoena the Cume folder that was taken away from me. I'm not allowed to access my Cume folder. It has to come from a court authority. Well, I'm not here to pick enemies with all of you. I recognize a lot of you are going to disagree with me. And I'm not here to hold grudges against you. I'm not like Donald Trump, and I won't prosecute you if you disagree with me in the media. Trump has already said that if anyone criticizes him in the media, he's going to make laws making it illegal, which is a classic, clear violation of our First Amendment. Classic and absolutely extraordinary violation of our First Amendment. I see the problem, Ching Chong. Yes, I see all the problems. I'm what is called super sane. There should be a new classification for what I have. Super sanity. I don't think being honest about being a dictator is no. Barack Obama never said that anyone criticizing him in the media will be found illegal. That's the work of a dictator. Obama in no way qualifies as a dictator. Trump sounds and walks and talks like a dictator. Yeah, call it common sense. Yeah, really, I would call super sanity common sense. I would. Well, like I said, the high cost of healthcare will be solved with the mobile medical unit. And I'll draw a picture here. You'll have a seating area around here. We're going to have an extension too that'll have a tent operation. So imagine a big tent over it and a block of seats that will provide you adequate seating, and an LED screen about 60 inches wide or more will give you entertainment on the sidewall. And back here will be medical marijuana. We'll make a little marijuana leaf here. We'll also have generic medicine for you to buy. You'll be able to get treated within a period of time based on the number that you take when you take a number. It's just a simple number take. So first person served at that number. But if you are presenting with extremely critical injuries, we will push you to the top of the list. And there'll be immediate triage for people like that, and we'll be able to get you an ambulance directly to a hospital to take care of you. Yeah, so I'm scaling the cost of healthcare down to the bare bones to deal with an incredibly ripped off healthcare culture run by the two-party system. In fact, Donald has an $800 billion add-on on top of Obamacare, which he hasn't even thought out. This guy talks off the top of his head all the time, and then he sorts it out and borrows plans that other people have massive price tags on. Donald Trump doesn't know the price of health care. He doesn't have any clue.
We have heard of a possible link between cell phone use and cancer. Well, now this week, researchers here in Baltimore say the evidence is clear and children are more at risk. WJZ's live Amy Yancey with more on these disturbing findings. Amy?
And Denise, the studies just don't tie it to cancer. It also ties it to a slew of health issues. That's why experts are now saying expecting mothers need to be extra careful. Cell phones are part of our everyday lives and a cause for concern for researchers who see them as a health risk, especially for infants and children.
The weight of the evidence is clear. Cell phones do cause brain cancer.
Dr. Deborah Davis.
Okay, that is a very important story. We have to all bear in mind that our government's never done a public service announcement, but consider this your public service announcement. Do not hold your health care in a vulnerable place. Do not put a cell phone next to your head. I met a guy with a brain tumor in 1985. He was convinced that cell phones caused it. Yet the government hasn't said anything. May 4th could be something, I suppose. Yeah, social media day. Well, every day will be social media day at the White House. I'll have a chat room in the White House every day. I promise you that. She'll be suicided just for saying that. You know, frankly, I don't want a cell phone, but thank you for looking into my background, Rodney, and tracking me. I don't have a cell phone. You probably have found that out already. Okay. Well, you know, I'm going to show you the cell phones in 1985, since I lived through it, and I was one of the people who bought one of them. Yeah, this is what he had held next to his head. And Rodney, you're starting to show your lack of intelligence. So, this is a 1985 cell phone that he held next to his head. Yeah, I had one of those belt packs. So, again, I proved you wrong in less than a nanosecond. So, yeah, he held that next to his head and he got brain cancer. And he knew that that was the cause of it. But yet our government hasn't run a public service announcement showing the dangers of holding cell phones next to your head. Do you realize how corrupt that is? I mean, that's the worst thing they could do, is to let us kill our children or let our children die because they're literally not being told the important information. Yeah, you don't have a job. That's your problem. My job is to convince you that you're in danger holding your cell phone next to your head. And I'm not getting paid for that job. Walkie-talkies could be dangerous, sure. I don't have brain damage. Like I said, I'm one of the most stable, happy, well-adjusted people I've ever met. That's why I'm running for president. You know, during the attack on our home by the SWAT team, cooking show's tomorrow, by the way. It's in the editing bay right now. It's all set to go. It's a 20-minute cooking show. Seven lunches for under $5, anytime, any day. Let me be, let me be, let me be, yeah, let me be. Crystal words of wisdom, let me be. Yeah, it's in the oven. It's in the hopper. The cooking show's in the hopper. Okay. Well, Sarah, you're here. Wow. You want to take a break before you come in? Just come in and say hello. Okay. You want to get a little water or anything, or get a glass of water, or something, maybe some juice. Sarah's going to give a little break for me. She's not feeling 100%, so I can always tell when she's not 100%. I'm feeling great. Yeah. I do the show every night. And this is pretty much, you know, my baby, because she works. You know, I'm retired. I've got the time to do this. She's been building her savings, building retirement. She has separate accounts, so she builds her own equity. You know, you gotta write my name in, guest 2600. Yeah, if you really want your vote to be counted, it's a great way to go, because they're not going to count all the digital votes. A lot of them are being cheated. The Diebold voting system is cheating the digital votes. Writing my name in is actually guaranteeing at least a chance to get some accountability from these corrupt government officials. You made spring rolls? Oh, so nice. From Vietnam.
Hi everyone, it's Helen here. Today we're making a very classic Vietnamese dish. It's a crispy fried spring rolls.
Oh, look, that's beautiful. Look at that. I made those. Remember when I made lumpia? Mm-hmm. They're like spring rolls. Okay, thank you so much. Sarah's going to come in and say hello.
Hello.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and get some coffee and, you know, warm myself up so that Sarah can relax and get comfortable and watch some shows and stuff.
Yeah, pretty much anything can cause cancer. Meow TV too.
Oh, a Romanian hacker named Guccifer says he breached Clinton's server. It was easy. Guccifer. Yeah. Okay, this Romanian hacker, Guccifer, breached Clinton's server, and did he find the emails? Because they're still missing. Maybe he could do some work on her server now that he breached it. The infamous Romanian hacker known as Guccifer, speaking exclusively with Fox News, claimed he easily and repeatedly breached former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's personal email server in early 2013. That means that all of those documents were unsafe, those 22 top
Hillary
secret
Clinton
documents.
suffered a surprising loss in the Indiana primary.
All right. Thank you for that. All right. Sarah's going to come in, and I'm going to remove the no individual mandates, because you guys know that that's my idea, not Trump's. But the flat tax is going to stay, because frankly, that's the best way to get this country rolling again. Even rich people like it, because it hits everybody fairly. Corporations, individuals, businesses all pay 10% flat tax on income over 100,000. Big difference between that and Trump's ridiculous plan of taxing everybody. I don't believe that should be the way to go. We're against globalism. We are in favor of the nation-state model and protecting our nation.
Gucci fur?
Oh, I thought it was Guccifer. It's Luciano Lucifer. Okay, I didn't know his name was Lucifer. Well, excuse me. Do I care? We've got 132 viewers. This is a miracle. I thought there was a limit on how many people could come to the. Oh, I talked about the limit last night, so he upped it to make it seem like there's no limit. So, how's your throat? Is it about the same?
No, it's
Still scratchy? Okay.
I think a little bit. It's okay.
Yes. We will have a garage sale at the White House. A lot of the purple lampshades will be on sale. Anything that comes out of Obama's cabinet will be put out there to promote, any kind of selection of green wallpaper or purple toiletries will be put out there for sale. Thank you. I'll be right back.
All right, sounds good. Take care.
Okay, I'm back. Well, that was great. I'm so glad that I was able to take a break. Thank you so much. You can go now. I'm just kidding.
You just love talking, right?
I do. I can't help it. That's why we started the show.
It's kind of swollen. It's weird. You're like swollen? Maybe eat some asparagus or something. You're a social drinker, very social? Okay. I'm a non-drinker. I don't drink anything. Wow. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Mark. Or should I say thank you, Mark? That's what I should say. Heart to heart. Yeah, I don't do any drugs. That would be good. Thank you. Yeah, I guess what do you think it is about casting sites that make you drink more? I don't think so, 661, but who knows? Asset got unbanned. I think David unbanned a whole lot of people. What's my thought on the Kasich cruise ship sinking? Well, obviously, cruise. I wasn't a big cruise fan. I don't know if Kasich will actually. I think, his wife wants him to run, and he's staying in it as far as Kasich goes, and I think that's actually a good thing. David doesn't have dabs. No, I don't think so, Letter Jacket. I think he's probably one of the more normal ones. Kasich retired today? Is that what happened? Really? I guess I didn't check that information out, so let me go. What about neither? Oh, goodness. So basically it's Trump on the Republican side. Well, it's Trump, Hillary, and David. Trump, Clinton, Sponheim. Of those three, who would you want? I'd want Sponheim. Yeah. Well, his family very long time ago, but no current ties to Harvard, I would say, but his family helped create Harvard, distant relatives. Oh, well, thank you, 508. Well, whoever you want, you can write in who you want for president, and even better, you could go out and campaign for those people. Yeah, I don't plan on ever hurting anyone. There's no gain in hurting anyone, I would say. Well, that's exactly right, 469. Oh, they closed the polls and turned away voters all across the state. Well, I would tell him, Sephiroth, that that's not the case. Huh. That's pretty funny, FJJ. Do you do that a lot? True, but third parties get on the ballot a different way. Yep. Okay, thank you, 6826 about Harvard. Yeah. Wow. Well, as long as they're over 35, they're natural born citizen, and they've been living in the United States for the last 14 consecutive years, I guess anyone can run for president, 469. Yeah, I think Sponheim is the best one, soundbite guy. Sponheim is in the race. We need to get him on the ballot. That's what needs to happen. No, 611, not by any means. What's hard to think about? That's pretty cool, Sephiroth. Can I play a musical instrument? At one time I could play keyboard. I could play a little bit, but I haven't done that for a long time. I am wearing makeup. That is makeup on my eyes. It's very, very light, but that's makeup. Okay. Something 300 kilometers from Fort Mac. No, David doesn't wear makeup. You don't even see any makeup on my... That's how awesome I am at putting it on. Exactly. Wow. I think you need to take a break, FJJ. I don't think you really want to be here. I give off good vibes. That's who I am. Sure. Okay, thank you, Meow TV 2. Why are you a woman? 383. Sorry, just had to ask. That's hilarious. Okay. I don't know. Maybe some other people in here are celebrating it a couple weeks later. I don't celebrate it because I don't do anything that... I don't do any mind-altering substances, including marijuana. So Fort McMurray wildfire, 80,000 evacuated over out-of-control blaze. Wow. Thank you. That was kind of a little creepy, that one. Edgar. Yeah, it does look like Edgar's new GIF. That's true. Does caffeine count as a substance? I don't drink coffee, so I try to avoid caffeine. Except I do eat chocolate, which I know has a small amount of caffeine in it. So caffeine minus chocolate is, yeah. I avoid that. So I don't drink coffee or caffeinated teas. So an oil sands fire is forcing 80,000 Canadians from their homes, and it's set to expand. Wow. In Western Canada. I wonder if I can see. It's in Alberta. Oh, I've got to get that glyphosate Quaker Oats. Instant oatmeal. Oh, I might have you. Can you post that again, Sister
A wildfire racing across Alberta, sending tens of thousands of residents fleeing, and prompted Suncor Energy and Royal Dutch Shell to.
Well, Easter tomorrow and French Ascension. Okay, that's funny. All right, thank you. Well, where would you rather put it? 858. I'd rather your vote go not to the lesser two evils, but to someone good. Okay, well, do whatever your conscience leads you to do, 858. All right. I just wanted to see, I'm going to get rid of that one. I wanted to see the area, but okay. It's in Alberta. Both Bushes do not plan to endorse Trump. Maybe we should get the Bushes to endorse David. No, I don't. No, David hates Bushes. I could get all the Republicans that aren't going to endorse Trump to endorse David. Maybe. California raised their smoking age from 18 to 21 and restricts the use of electronic cigarettes in public places and expands no smoking areas at public schools. The federal government took on North Carolina's controversial bathroom bill Wednesday, giving the governor until Monday to pledge that he will walk away from the law. Justice Department officials said it violates civil rights. Did YouTube replace your cable TV? YouTube is working on its own online television service called Unplugged, Bloomberg reports. I like that font. How did you do that, Antique? I don't know. But I have to say, I like the font. Okay, what do I think about this Common Core teacher? I'll have to check it out just a sec. What? Oh my goodness. Are you serious? I'm sorry, that's not... Although I understand that that's not Common Core. Common Core has nothing to do with sex education. I'll just say that much. Common Core has 2 subjects that they talk about. 2. That's it. Everything else that happens in the classroom is not related to Common Core. The 2 subjects are English Language Arts, which includes reading and writing, and mathematics. And that's it. 2 plus 2 equals 5 minus 1. Well, Unplugged will be as expensive as cable. Google obviously does not get it. Wow. I am pretty fast. Oh, he or she lies? Okay. Well, I just have to say that what they're talking about, they all blame on Common Core, but there's only 2 subjects with Common Core. And other things are taught in public education. Yes, there is education about sex education, but it's not Common Core. That's hilarious, FJJ. Ha ha ha. Well, idiot has a D in it. D is in 4-letter word. Ends with a K? No. Like, Sarah Palin, move over, please. Good grief. Wow. There are no programs that secretly instruct the children to spy on their parents. No. All right. Well, I do like spelling correctly. Thank you, Johnny. I'm also taken very much so. But I do appreciate the compliments. Correct. Schools will report to CPS if there is serious neglect, but they don't just call CPS for any reason. There has to be usually there's, well, I will say this. Teachers are required to report neglect or abuse or suspicions of abuse. If they don't report what they suspect is abuse, they can lose their credential. Ah, awesome. I'm glad you fixed your PC. I don't know what you're asking, Igloo. Ha ha ha. Thank you, Johnny. Yeah. Is a masterpiece. Yes, we all do pay for schools with our property taxes and part of our income taxes. That's true. I don't really know. I haven't eaten Cinnamon Toast Crunch in a very, very long time. Well, David would like for a wall to be built using prison labor. Hey, Segami. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much, Johnny. Have an amazing night. Take care. If you ever want to talk about politics, you can come on in and we can continue to talk about politics. I don't know Bend in Ohio because I have never actually been to other people's shows because I don't really have time to do so. That's hilarious, Male TV too. Ah, stop drinking! Well, as long as you're not going anywhere, don't have to be up early in the morning. Well, as long as they're not escaping into the U.S. 508 at 5. Why does a round pizza come in a square box? Because it's easier to make a round pizza and it's easier to make a square box. If you're a bricklayer, well, it's more about having a lethal electric fence than it's more about metalworking rather than bricklaying. But I understand what you're saying, Segami. Square pizzas are awesome, and sometimes they actually do create square pizzas, and I like them. How would you like your school to run? 858. Why don't you gather together 25 students and teach them what you would like to teach them? Get them to sit still. Yes, I think we should do both. 3, 9, 1. Yes. All right. That's pretty funny. I like that. Well, we can streamline the deportation process by making all of our Border Patrol agents could be actually federal judges that could only hear deportation cases or Border Patrol related cases. And if that were the case, then we could actually streamline our deportation process, because right now the reason they don't immediately deport someone that they see coming over the border is because they have what's called due process. I haven't fired up the top tub lately. That's actually not a bad idea, but I'm kind of getting over a cold. You could kind of hear it. It was like I've had a scratchy throat since Sunday night. There you go. Yeah, yep, square special, any 2 large pizzas, 4 pieces of garlic bread with cheese. Wow. And cheesecake. It's pretty amazing. No, 753. I'm too busy to do so. Well, that's pretty much what public schools spend most of their time doing, 858. They give kids a little bit of recess. But then the kids that don't have social teaching end up getting in fights. And so that's the only time they really teach them social skills, so they can help them avoid fights. Oh, thanks, Abnormal. Well, sorry. I'm not really that ailing too much. Yeah, I should have a packet airborne. That would be good. Nope, 753. Nope. I am 5'11". How tall are you? Well, I think, let's wait and see if an offer is made, 665. Wow. It's more like the teachers didn't want to get in the middle of it. Tesla just took the most ambitious automotive production timeline since the Ford Model T and moved it up 2 years. They plan to produce 500,000 electric cars every year starting in 2018. Nice. U.S. productivity shrunk. Wow. Companies shelled out more on wages.
You know, I found this letter. I fished this letter out of the garbage can in the recycling bin. That it has. It's written to apparently a Christian person, and it's written by the. What's really interesting is that. Let me show you Yeah, it says for U.S. House Representative Rick Larson and Maria Cantwell and Patty Murray, right? Looks like an official government document, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you open it up, and it's from the Christian Association. While your participation is important in the 2014 midterm congressional elections, Faith and Freedom Coalition made more than 102 million personal contacts with conservative Christian voters in the key battleground states. So they're essentially the Freedom Coalition. This is an organization which is hitting up all the Christians out there. It's called,
try to get them to donate money.
it's called Faith and Freedom Coalition, and it's clearly breaching the separation of church and state.
Yeah.
It's the, you know, the Reed guy, that Ralph Reed or whatever his name is?
No.
Dr. Reed is his name. Dr. Reed is behind this at the Faith and Freedom Coalition. So they're using the registered Christian voters to promote certain candidates. They never contacted you. Well, they're working big lists and they're breaching the separation of church and state. Okay, what did I interrupt?
Not too much.
Well, private organizations, Christian organizations can't solicit votes. They can solicit people to get out the vote, but they can't solicit you voting for one particular person.
Yeah.
So they're in violation by saying vote for these two people.
Yes.
But they can solicit the vote, they can get people out to vote, but they can't endorse anybody. And they're really breaching separation of church and state. I'm going to use this as a federal document. We're going to process this once I'm president. Yeah, they need to be punished. No, I don't have a pink eye. What's wrong with you people? Can't you see the whites of my eyes? Do I have to hold my eyes out like this all the time? No, Christians pushing control over politics, not cool. Okay. But I think it's great to, if you're Christian, that's great, but I'm not here to solicit Christians per se and then try to, but everybody should vote. Get out the vote. Yeah, absolutely. So what are we talking about tonight? Any good stories? Pot legalization backers are kicking off a California campaign. They want recreational marijuana like they have it in Oregon and Washington. So many of our viewers are on the dole. I'm not going to say that they're not. I was baptized as a child, yes, in a Catholic church. I'm not on any federal funding. I don't get any money. I don't collect benefits. I live humbly, and I'm very content with what savings I have amassed in my life. I don't think he's going to be president, Jeremy. I think I'm going to uproot him with a write-in campaign. But if you mention him one more time, I'm going to ban you. Okay? If you want to not come in the show under your name, I'll be glad to do that. Okay, if you're not here to hear what you think, then I'm not here to let you do what you want. Okay. Yes, Michigan State did pass a law saying sodomy is a felony punishable by 15 years in jail. If you people are in Detroit engaging in oral sex, you could be arrested immediately and sent to jail, where you'll be forced to have oral sex. You have your right to your own opinion, but you're supporting Trump here, Jeremy. That's not cool. I've had no media time in 7 years, and Trump's had nothing but media time. Don't you think that's a little unfair, Jeremy? Yes, oral sex is sodomy, just so you know. The legal definition of sodomy is oral and anal sex. Well, I'm glad you're here to like my channel, but I will ban you if you stand here promoting Trump. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be your president. I'm sorry. Well, go ahead and contact the Michigan State legislature and write them a letter saying, this is Kool-Aid Anthrax saying, I want to have anal sex in Michigan. Just write that and say, I think it should be okay. Get involved. Voting for Gary Johnson is like throwing your vote in a toilet bowl, because he doesn't want to stop the endless corruption in America. He simply is part of it. He's a profiteer. He likes to make money on the sale of marijuana. Yeah, he's one of those guys that only wants medical marijuana, not legalization of all marijuana. And I must tell you, I am against all the things that the other two parties are in favor of. Yeah. Well, thanks for giving me some support here, and you can take a night off, you know. Come back maybe if you feel up to it. You have worked hard and you deserve it. Break today.
Sorry, I didn't give you too much.
No, that's more than enough time. I fed the fish. They're happy.
Did you get coffee? Or?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good to go. Yeah, I'm not Arnold Schwarzenegger. If I was Arnold Schwarzenegger, you'd probably vote for me. Yeah. Hi, Sir Waffles. That's great, Jeremy. You're awesome. Wow. You turned around enough to at least help me out. Thank you. At least you understand my predicament. You know, that's a pretty weird rumor that Trump starred in a gay porno. I find that very hard to believe. Maybe you might convince me that Charlie Sheen was in a gay porno, but not Trump. I mean, that's a stretch. Involved at Orgy Island with women on the list of known Johns of Jeffrey Epstein. Now you're talking. Yeah, that's what Trump is. Trump-da-dump-dump. Trump-da-dump-dump-dump. So these are interesting stories. Trump did appear on the Jeffrey Epstein's blacklist. His name, along with Alan Dershowitz and Courtney Love and others, were soliciting Jeffrey Epstein for prostitutes. Or at least allegedly soliciting them for prostitutes. But the fact that the story never played in the past 7 years shows you how much power Trump has to suppress the story. So I'm going to give you guys a link to promote on the internet to stop the Trump machine from, the propaganda machine from rolling over everybody's chance for a fair election. I'm going to go ahead and give you our link to America's Third Party's link library. We have over 20 links right now. Reasons not to vote for Trump. They reconstructed the link. It wasn't working before, so now it should be working. Yeah, they were hosed. They were DDoSed over there. I don't even think they knew what happened, but it was all because I kept sending people 20 plus reasons not to vote Trump. That's the original link. And then this is the link that they gave me now. See which one works for you. Okay, I don't smoke weed. No, I thank you for asking though. Yeah, I do have a few links on why not to vote for Hillary, but they're not fully developed yet. They're coming. One of them is called the Clinton death count, in which I will give you that. If you research Clinton and her relationship to over 50 people that have died, mysterious deaths, it would be interesting for you to know more about that, especially if you're a Democrat or a former Democrat or a soon-to-be former Democrat. But the list goes on and on. Let me see if I can get you one with pictures. There's a lot of these things out there. 90 suspicious deaths, they say. Yeah, there's a Clinton associate that was found dead last year. That was a chef for the Clintons during his time as president. This is the one link that I think Political Insider has a pretty good one. Yeah. You can take a look at a bunch of links there. Pedro's not running in my area anymore. He gave up. Yeah, well, you would be voting for a candidate that puts you in a concentration camp, and that would be Trump or Hillary. Yeah, most likely, because they support the New World Order. South Carolina, no votes for turncoats. Okay, this is what Trump said about the Confederate flag. I think they should put it in the museum and let it go. Trump said of the Confederate flag while at this new golf course in D.C., respect whatever it is you have to respect because it was a point in time and put it in a museum, but I would take it down, yes. Talk about a flip-flopper. Wow. That's sad. You know, you have every right to post a Confederate flag anywhere you want. It's freedom of speech. This guy doesn't understand freedom of speech. He betrays it every single time he talks. You can't get a solid statement out of him at all. When he said he wants to punish women who've had abortions, he immediately recanted, saying, oh, I didn't mean that. I know, look at him, I know. Hey, and I'm not too old. The nice thing about me is I've got a good 20 years of vitality left before I start to get to the point where it's like, and I've got a good memory, unlike Ronald Reagan. Although I can sound like Ronald Reagan. Well, could you please pass me the jelly beans and I'll sign the next executive order for you? Is Don Regan around? I need to go to the bathroom. So if you want that kind of thing, I can do that too. Or I can sound like Sling Blade. I like the way you talk too. I like them taters and mustard. I'm my baby brother in the shoebox. Will you bring McDonald's in federal charges for censoring you? No. McDonald's isn't going to be brought up in federal charges for censoring me. Other networks will. I'm better than Bubba's. Well, thank you. It's like he's having a bowel movement while he's talking. John Ritter was queer? Oh, yeah, I heard he was queer in real life. Poor John Ritter. He died of a heart attack. It was probably the guilt about being gay that caused him to have a heart attack. You know, if you're gay and you don't come out of the closet, it could cause a lot of guilt. Some of you gay people should consider coming out of the closet. And if you want to pray, go back in the closet. LA sees another sharp rise in homelessness. Yep. Well, of course, the Democrats never do anything, so yeah, you're going to see a sharp rise in homelessness. If you listen to Barack Obama, you think we're in a recovery. Boy, they really ripped him a new one at the Correspondents' Dinner. I don't even want to play that video because it was so harsh. Even I'm not that harsh about Barack Obama. You see, I've never said a racial slur in my life. But when asked, what do you think about the president, I couldn't help but tell people in a way that would be fully utilizing my freedom of speech. So I produced Broken Saint Obamas, a character I developed in 2008, which incidentally is completely protected under freedom of speech, and YouTube didn't seem to understand that. So I'll be probably looking at a lawsuit against YouTube for taking it off the air in 2010. I just couldn't understand why they suppress freedom of speech in America and how they can get away with it, but they have. I don't do Andrew Dice Clay. I don't do inferior comedians of any kind. Like, I don't do Sam Kinison because he wasn't that funny. David, I have a confession to make. I am Reggie Love. Well, you couldn't possibly be Reggie Love. You'd be hooked up to stirrups right now, taking it from the man. Soundboard. Oh, Sling Blade clips. Those are good. He was a really nice guy. A nice guy. John Ritter, yeah. He had a good personality. You know, I like John Ritter. George Carlin is a comedian that copied everything from Lenny Bruce. and he did a great job. George Carlin did the best Lenny Bruce of anybody on earth. He was excellent. I can give you amazing Lenny Bruce if you want. I really like George Carlin. But as an impersonator of Lenny Bruce, he was really, really good. I don't have a day job. I retired at the age of 50 because I don't have a need for excessive amounts of money like Donald Trump. I'm not greedy. I'm happy with my, minimal lifestyle. I have a very low impact lifestyle. For instance, when I work out, I can work out any time of the day, but I try to, do it during the show. I'll tell you, can I do Rodney Dangerfield? Does a fly have wings? I got no respect. So this guy died. He was a chef at the White House. His name was Walter Scheib. He was the first chef to bring in GMOs, and Clinton really likes GMOs. She wants GMOs in the White House. I will not allow GMOs in the White House. I care about homeless people, and I'm not nobody. Thank you. We'll have tent city solutions, mobile washer and dryers, bathrooms, you name it, even showers that use filtered water. I'm not avoiding the question at all. I'm taking it on head on. What is man, bear, pig exactly? I don't know what that is. Okay, cover-up. Murders begin in Flint, Michigan. 2 people dead who were related to the water crisis. The cover-up murders begin in Flint. This woman was an ardent activist talking about how her son had died of lead poisoning. And this guy was the guy involved, who's the supervisor of the water shift. He's dead. Young mom murdered in her home after filing a lawsuit against Michigan government, and this one guy who was the water treatment plant foreman found dead. They're willing to kill people that disagree with them. Like I said, we have the worst possible government running our country. And now Barack Obama's over grandstanding and acting like he's helping with the Flint, Michigan people. He's not. He's not doing a damn thing. FEMA hasn't even gotten them decent water filtration by now. But Walter Scheib was found in a ravine, drowned in about a half a foot of water. Looks like he was killed. The former chef of the White House must have known a lot of secrets, especially the GMO chef. Maybe he said no to GMOs. They killed him for that. Who knows? We could turn this into a bongo session. I could be like Dobie Gillis. Be a retro 1950s thing. Do a little jam poetry. I don't avoid simple questions, Mignanimos. I'm just reading a lot of chat right now. I'm trying to sort yours out. We need people like me, it's true. All I see you saying is, do you avoid questions? What is your day job? I answered, I have no day job. I've answered all your questions, Magnanime. Yeah. I haven't shirked from any questions whatsoever. I don't need a smoke break. I don't smoke. No, Trump has not made any effort to contact me. After taking 6 of my ideas, I don't think he wants to call me because he'll sound like a guy who takes 6 ideas from somebody. We wouldn't want to paint him out as a bad guy, would we? Gosh forbid. No, I can take a dance break and just do my dance too. We always have that ability. Every time I play the song Can't Stop, I gotta fight it now. Monetizing all the time. This one guy is trying to monetize me every time I play the song. Yeah, there is no slander here. Everything I say has got factual evidence to back it up. I can guarantee that Donald Trump, according to his wife Ivana, read the speeches of Hitler before he went to bed. I can tell you for a fact that that he has said that he wants to ID Muslims and he wants to create deportation forces, which is a clear violation of our First and 14th Amendment. Or 14th Amendment and First Amendment, depending on how you look at it. Right, Ed? The site doesn't exist because it doesn't exist. Ed? Vaughn has been taken over by some unknown force. We'll call it the NSA, for lack of a better word. We don't know what took over Vaughn. We know that something's wrong with the network, but we don't exactly know what. Dave makes Sarah read his chats and thinks that is so great. I don't. No. He doesn't read. Sarah doesn't read 6,000 words a minute. She's a fast reader, though. No, I think there's something going on. Maybe it's a midlife crisis he's going through. I mean, when you live with your mom at that age, you got to feel really weird, don't you think? I know. I lived it with my mom when I was about, 45? Yeah. I had to take care of my dad. It was really serious. My parents were both very ill for very, very long. I gave them the full help of a son who really cares. And they were very, very good people, and I would love to share the stories of my family with you, so I'm writing a book about it, and with pictures and everything. You're 32 years old and you're homeless. Okay. Let's work on that. What do you say we figure out how you can be unhomeless? Why don't you start backpacking and making a life of going from city to city and couch surfing? You know that there's a couch surfing network out there? Are you aware of it? Look up couch surfing to start with. You'll find a place, somebody will take you in. And you'll say, oh, you're a poor guy, you need a little place to stay. No, I'm not a narcissist. I don't have any pictures of me around me, or I don't look at myself all the time. Yeah, look it up, couch surfing. And there's another organization called Workaway. I spelled couch wrong, but that's okay. Yeah, a lot of people look after people. We have a hidden economy where people take care of their family all the time. Our government doesn't seem to acknowledge that hidden economy. You don't get any breaks or benefits from taking care of your family, but there's a lot of good people out there that do that. Mothers caring for their children don't get paid. You know, we need to toggle our economy down. We've got a lot of fat-assed healthcare and social workers sitting around collecting lots of money. Now, I don't want people doing nothing and making good money. We go to a store every weekend, or maybe once every 2 weeks, whatever. We see this guy sitting there at the front door, and he just sits there like this. And I sometimes say hi, and he goes, hi. I walked up to him the other day, and I said, what do you do here? Are you like protecting from robberies or anything? And he said, I'm the greeter. So I said, you're getting paid to be a greeter sitting here? And he doesn't even say hi to people. Sarah can't believe he still sits there every time we walk in there. He's making like $12 an hour sitting there the whole day, every day. And the government, the manager doesn't seem to care. He's probably the manager's cousin or something. He just sits there like a lump of coal. It's unbelievable. I mean, I've never seen such a ridiculous waste of labor. A desperate woman throws her 3 children from a 4th story of a burning building to a U.S. airman below. This is not for the faint of heart. Let's watch this.
We ran to one of the most popular things purchased in that area, made blankets.
Oh my.
So one individual ran into the store where I followed him, and we came out with a blanket and unraveled it. As we're unraveling it, a bunch of other people in the vicinity came to the rescue, and we moved towards the building. And lo and behold, after contemplating with the mother for a few moments, please throw your baby, please throw your baby, she did just that. She threw her baby.
Oh my gosh, I was going to ask you that, how hard it was to persuade the moms to drop the babies out.
Wow, that was quite a story. Isn't that crazy? I mean, at least she saved her children. That was awesome. Just like you, just like you. What are you saying that over and over again for? Build a wall around Oregon. Yeah. I don't think we need a wall around Oregon. I don't want to control jobs. I want to offer jobs, but I don't understand why this guy gets a job just to sit there. Yeah, it is ridiculous. You support this new flat tax? Thanks, Curly Fries. A lot of people like it because it totally improves their spending capital. You know, a lot of people need more spending money. Many people need that money that they dole out every year. Under $100,000, a lot of you are paying like $20,000 in taxes. That could go right into another house rebuild. Think of all the people you'd be hiring, putting an extra room on your house or something, or putting in a swimming pool. I mean, we are killing the free enterprise system by overtaxing. And Donald's plan is ridiculous. His 1, 5, 10, 15 plan, he wants to tax everybody. Dow Jones is dropping 17,651. Gold is sitting still at 1278. And silver is pretty much parked at 1734. I like Ed. Antique offers a lot of fun to the show. You, however, you're a downer. Nope, I'm not turned on by that. No, Trump has a 1% tax on everyone that makes less than $40,000 a year. Look it up. It's the 1, 5, 10, 15 plan. You should be familiar with his policies if you're going to represent him. Oh, that's right. Nobody questions anything he says because he has nothing to say. Of course. Yeah, he doesn't have any specifics, no ideas. We have a great plan for our country. We have a plan to legalize marijuana. Trump says he's never smoked marijuana. Can you believe that? I find that hilarious. But hey, whatever. I guess there's a... If you believe that, I mean, I'm sure you'll be buying a trip to Brooklyn. Where's the cowbell? I know. I was wondering about that myself. You know, I'm not going to talk about my system and compromise it, soundbite guy. I don't do that. I'm not going to tell you whether I'm running Linux or not. Okay, here it comes. Cowbell on demand. Thank you. Thanks for reminding me. I didn't realize you guys were having a cowbell come down experience. Moo. So Trump says he's never smoked marijuana, so I doubt he's ever going to legalize it. So if you're voting for Trump and expecting to smoke marijuana in the future, you're wasting your vote. Write my name in, please. Yeah. I mean, we got lots of things going on that are just not cool with the Democrats, Republicans. And that's just one of them. And then, of course, we have the ocean pipeline to create fresh water in California and anywhere else that needs water around the world. This can be an exportable product. We can put them on ships and send them around the world to the Gaza Strip. We could sell these things. We'll make it open source so other companies and other countries can copy these things. We don't need to make money. We have a general problem in this country, and that's fresh water. Around the world, we've got that problem. So there's a lot of ideas that really are good for us. Then we have a job plan that Trump doesn't have. We have the Homestead Renewal Plan, which will bring back jobs in America. Lots of jobs, thousands of jobs in every city, because we're going to use the existing HUD plans to do this. HUD has a program called the HOME program, and I won't need congressional support to get this thing rolling. In 2017, it can go right out there immediately. We'll roll it out in every city we can to get started. And fixing up old houses, making them, improving them, giving people a $10 an hour wage. Offering daily cowbell experiences wherever we go. And of course, the wonderful idea about the solar rooftop revolution is we're going to have rooftops across the country getting free solar panels. We'll actually roll these things out using modern technology developed at the U.S. military. The U.S. military is rolling out these solar panels. I'm going to have them work on a massive basis and roll out massive numbers of solar panels like this that can go on top of rooftops. Oh, thank you. Ed, you just joined the band list. Ed is a new band person on the show. Yes. Yeah, Ed. You never learn, Ed. You try, but you never learn. Antica, thank you for that tidbit. Okay, Ed, go away. Yeah, bye. I have to ban Ed. You wouldn't believe what he just wrote. Read that link that Ann just gave me. I had to. I have no other choice. So coming up with new solutions to the problems facing the country really is my forte. Being I've got great ideas, I can think on my feet. I don't have to wait for speechwriters to fill in the blanks. So you won't have the kind of stall pattern you're getting with Barack Obama. Well, I did unban everybody recently, and Ed's going to be joining that list of banned people. We don't need him in the show. To be fair, he has PTSD, and to be fair, he comes in the show, and it's just not pleasant when he makes these statements. New species of reflective jellyfish discovered in the Marianas Trench. The Marianas Trench is the deepest area of the ocean, and they found these amazing jellyfish down there. 3,700 meters down below the surface, and it's spotted a glowing, reflective, amazing creature. Yeah, jellyfish. What seemed to be glowing orbs inside its body. You can check out the exact video capture below. That's really kind of cool. It adds a lot of hope for people that are converting green energy into light energy. That's really exciting. Thank you so much for that link. Okay. My hair is on fleek. I didn't wash today. I hit the ground running out of the bed. You can contact me by chatting in the room, or write me an email at americasthirdparty.com or americasthirdparty@gmail.com. That's one way to contact me. If you're in the media and realize finally that I've been censored for 7 years and you want to break the ice and be the first one, yes, you can contact me at Twitter, of course. We're at Third Party, like the sign says. But I don't respond to Twitter all the time. Better get an email through if it's really important. I stream all the time. Yeah, I've been streaming for 8 years solid. Oh, thanks. If you're using Google, you're giving away your privacy. I'm not using Google. But you're right. Google has a search engine, and it's got a backbone, a social network. YouTube itself is completely compromised by the NSA. People don't realize it, but Google and Facebook are both subsidiaries of the U.S. Navy. The U.S. Navy runs and operates Google. They pretend like it's a private corporation, so you think you have the illusion of competition. But really, it's just Skynet. It's Big Brother. They're watching you. Well, if the NSA are big fans of mine, then they should be watching closely, because I'm going to be doing everything I can to improve their agency. They suck. They should be appalled. I'm going to assume that Edward Snowden was a purposeful effort at disinformation. Because it doesn't make sense that a person like Edward Snowden, who wasn't even a high school graduate, would be that close to the top secrets this country has. And the fact that Edward Snowden is still alive implies that he was a disinformation plant, a shill. So I want to commend the NSA on their effort to create the illusion of Edward Snowden. Good job, guys. Yeah, but if it wasn't a planned disinformation attempt, your agency sucks, frankly. I mean, they need some revisions. But if it was, you guys are top dogs. Good job. Never would have been able to tell the American people they're being watched 100% of the time without somebody like Edward Snowden. Well, he would never have survived if I were president and he was committing this act of espionage. He would have been taken out in Moscow. It would have been a direct hit because it's treason what he did. But if Edward Snowden were to come clean, I will offer him a 3-year prison sentence at Supermax and modified, probably, he won't get the internet when he lives in a modified home during his probation period. So 3 years is not a bad offer to Eric Snowden. I put it on the table. Yeah, unfortunately, Tattooed Drambler, the 2045 movement is not as powerful as you think. It's just being promoted as if it is. Most of those movements are coming out of the Illuminati. The concept of transhumanism is an Illuminati construct. Transhumanism is something that the 2045 movement is about. And it's complete. You think it's a growing movement. It's just an Illuminati propaganda tool. They're trying to move in the direction of forcing humans to adapt to cybernetic technology. I don't in any way want RFID chipping, forced RFID chipping in our country ever. Do you want RFID chips stuck up your ass? Don't answer that. Well, transhumanism is turning our whole country into a bunch of robotic androids. It's the Matrix. I want to say happy Earth Day to all of you people that deny that chemtrails exist. I have one thing to say. Wake up! Tranny humanism? It's pretty funny. So yeah, happy Earth Day, all of you people that are refused to admit chemtrails are being dumped on you like a bunch of insects. Well, I don't trust this tranny revolution that's being made up. It's all propaganda. Even the effort to push transgenderism on children is insane. It's all designed to weaken the moral fabric of our great nation and rip apart the families. Yeah, some of you are even contemplating having your gender transferred to another one. It's simply a diversion. They don't want to talk about the real problem, and that is literally half the kids will have ADHD and autism by 2020. And you can't tell me that's not environmentally caused. It clearly is environmentally caused. It's probably a number of things. Vaccinations, fluoride, everything above me is probably leading to autism. I notice an increase in autism equal to the amount of fluoride in our water system and in our toothpaste. As it increased, so did autism. That's that factor. Yes, I did talk about Teacher Appreciation Day yesterday. I asked Sarah where she got those roses because I thought some guy was like hitting on her at work. I didn't say that, but it's like she came in with 2 beautiful roses. It was Teacher Appreciation Day. Fluoride is incredibly bad for your brain. It's a known neurotoxin. Asperger's syndrome is on the up. That's what I heard, yeah. Yeah, isn't that great? I mean, that's not great, but you know what I mean. This is the power of cannabis. The cannabinoids attack tumors and they surround them and they shut them down. And they've seen this power of cannabis for years. Since 1974, they've known about it. And it's been saving people who smoke weed. I can recall a woman I knew, a friend of mine knew, because I never met her. She quit smoking weed and became extremely religious. And 2 years later, she came down with a brain tumor and then died. Last night we played our Can't Stop music at the end of our show. I think I'm going to do that tonight too. I almost have to apply for disputing the monetization attack every single show now. I have to have them reverse the monetization on this Can't Stop song. Some guy keeps using it as a way to attack us. And Google could care less. They don't even know what's going on. Yeah, well, clearly we got a lot of good old-fashioned weed smokers here that support legalization. Thank you for coming in, everybody. We got an uphill battle now because Hillary and Donald are moving into position as I predicted they would over 4 years ago. When Donald took my first idea, which was the birther concept I was using against Barack Obama, he used that. He actually kind of put his stake out there, and then ever since he put his stake out there with my ideas, since then, I've been convinced that he was going to pretty much take down the Republican Party because these ideas are that strong. But then he screwed up all the ideas, and he started hating on Mexicans and women and Muslims and everything. And it just completely bastardized my ideas, and now he's got a menagerie of disastrous misinterpretations that he's got to carry forward with. We could never get Mexico to pay for the wall. And we won't even be able to build a wall. It's got to be a fence because a wall can't be built in this short period of time. But they've been prepping Hillary and Trump for this position. The New World Order has been for about 4 years. And that's when I predicted that they'd be the two people competing. I don't have baldness or dandruff or hanging jowls. Nothing like that. He seems to be very mad. You're right, Letter Jacket. Yeah. Gives me a creepy feeling to see such a rich guy being so greedy, wanting more and more. It's not like he really cares about the country. He just wants to pad his pockets and protect his cronies and the 1%. I believe I will be running for president continuously for well into the future and will eventually get mainstream media attention. Clearly, I'm the best choice for the presidency across the board. There's nobody with my eloquence, speaking ability. No one can articulate the needs of the American people better than an American person, an average American. I also believe that I've got the tools necessary to lead in a way that will shake up the oligarchy we have, a corporate-run political structure which is pretty much draining us dry. We've got enough money in our tax revenue to go on a pay-as-you-go plan. We don't have to keep borrowing like these people do in the two parties to keep running the government. So imagine a nation that runs efficiently. That's what I hope to bring to this country. And get a return on investment so that your tax dollars don't have to be constantly siphoned. You see, to tax is to destroy. In 1936, the Supreme Court ruled that in an agricultural tax issue. And since then, the Supreme Court has ignored that. So to tax is to destroy. You are pretty much being destroyed when you get overtaxed by these Democrats and extreme Republican neocons. And frankly, I think our country is in much better shape when we have more expendable income. My lips are not black. And I don't wear lipstick. Amen, yeah. So you guys who are dreading the day when you come in there and pay taxes every year, with this plan you won't have to pay taxes because I know most of you are making less than $100,000 a year. It's a win-win for a lot of you. And if we eliminate the payroll tax limit, we'll be able to fund Social Security more efficiently. Right now, people that pay payroll taxes, they have a limit of $130,000, I think it is. It tops out, and they don't have to pay any taxes after that. So that some people make $500,000 a year, and they don't pay any payroll taxes on that. We should all get payroll taxes from those people, and we should go right to the Social Security Trust Fund. It would eliminate the huge shortfall that they're coming up with. The Social Security Trust Fund will be bankrupt by 2027 to 2030 at the current rate without any changes. You know, I've already done a couple of Broken St. Obamas videos. Many of you want to see them. They're online at David John Sponheim's site. Just go to this site right here and you'll be able to see all of my the ones I made in 2014. They're all there. New Broken St. Obamas videos. Over 2 hours of non-stop satire. I have I take no money from the contributions. In fact, we get so little in contributions that it's not even funny. So far, we got a quarterly report, mind you, for 3 months, and I think I've got one donation of $20. So don't accuse me of scamming anybody. I've never taken a penny from this. Yeah, well, prices going up is simply an example of what big Wall Street companies are doing. They get all the low-cost money that's printed up. All these too big to fail companies get all that money, and then they give it to all their middle management people with extra salaries. What's happening is the dollar is diluting. So as they print up money, your money in your wallet and your bank account is worth less and less. Inflation is a hidden tax on your savings, basically. I subsist on very little. Today I ate some organic tortilla chips and some expired guacamole sauce. And for the breakfast, I had a piece of toast with some organic peanut butter on it. I'm on a diet right now, so. You don't need a lot to eat, to survive. In case you didn't know, you don't have to live on filet mignon every day. You have over $2 million in investments. I hope that they're all federally backed, because you got a lot to lose there. If you're heavily leveraged on your 401ks or you bought into the money markets, there's $24 trillion at risk there in the money markets. I would definitely look at buying silver and gold, even though they're fairly stable at the price they're at. No, my lips are not black. It's just something about the lighting. Okay. Yeah. I'm not avoiding the question. Rent? Well, I pay property taxes and rent. I don't have rent. I pay insurance, house insurance and property taxes, yeah. Well, where I live, they're not like New York or California. They're not like $6,000 a year. Where I live, my property taxes are about $1,500 a year. So I'm living on savings, basically. No, not really. I can live like this for over 100 more years. I've calculated the number of rice and beans I'll need to consume, and I stockpiled them. I also have an adequate supply of sardines to last over 100 years. So eating a couple sardines a day and some rice and beans with my vegetables that I grow in my alfalfa sprout jar, I can survive pretty well for a good 100 years. You look like Joan Rivers? Let's see if I do look like Joan Rivers, okay? Because there are a lot of people that believe I am Joan Rivers. Don't tell Melissa that she would be very upset. Do you think that maybe Joan Rivers survived and became me? I'm giving you an answer, 7-9, but it wasn't you have no idea I would say. Yeah. And I've been reading everything else. You seem to be fragmented, and everything you say has kind of like word salad. Are you schizophrenic? You look like Jim Carrey? Well, I think I look a lot better than Jim Carrey. I know. I'm on tap to bring Joan Rivers into the show any second now. Joan, are you there? Earth to Joan. Joan Rivers died unexpectedly, and Melissa Rivers is suing her, the Yorkville Endoscopy Clinic, for wrongful death, and I don't blame her. I'd be extremely upset if that had happened to my mother. Of course, I was extremely upset when my mother died. She'd been treated like a rag doll by an unscrupulous cardio unit over here in beep, 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 and wasn't given the proper care. And I'd gladly tell you exactly what happened to my mother before she passed away, but I was about ready to launch an incredible lawsuit, but I didn't, unlike Melissa Rivers.
Miss Rivers, how are you? You made a ton of news officiating the wedding in New York.
Okay, now you're saying I look like Joan Rivers. Is that right? I don't know. Was she like 80 or something? I'm not sure. They didn't have an authorization to do the biopsy. Okay, now I'm going to give you a little time to sort through this, but Let's see if I do look like Joan Rivers. Hold on. I'm alive. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Okay, let's listen to this. Okay, let's not make fun here. This is serious. This is one of the last cases of her speaking out.
York yesterday. Is this like a new cottage career move for you?
I'm so excited.
Okay.
And I should do very well because I don't choke.
And do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman
We already
president?
have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. It's okay. She does
Bye, Joan. We lost a really good woman there, and she was going out on a limb telling people the truth about Michael Obama. Now, you dumb, idiot, liberal, moron Democrats who voted for well, let's call him Brock, for lack of a better word, you had no idea that Brock married a tranny. But let me tell you a little bit about the Illuminati and how powerful they are. When they installed Barack Obama in the position of rock star politician and created a fake story about his whole background as a community organizer, claimed he was the head of Harvard Law Review, president of the Law Review, when there's no evidence that he was actually at Harvard. And then they put Michelle in there, the eternal tranny. They were essentially laughing at you. And I want to wait before Sarah gets in real quick. I just want to show you this picture right here. They were laughing at you. They think it's funny that they could install a tranny in the first lady position. And they just think you useless eaters are so stupid you'll believe anything they put in front of you. So yeah, the only way you're going to retrieve your integrity is by writing my name in the upcoming election. Right now, you must feel like crap after voting for that. I mean, seriously, isn't it obvious to you? Going live? Okay, check my Twitter. Cool, tattooed rambler. You have an all-seeing eye implanted in your forehead. I'll check my Twitter a little bit later, okay? Thanks. Sarah, we're good now. I didn't want to have you come in during the tranny moment. Sarah doesn't believe that Michelle is a dude.
I just don't think it's relevant.
It's not relevant, but if we were lied to all these years, that's kind of relevant, you know? Believe it or not. It's important to know if we're lied to.
What people assume versus what, did people ask, is Michelle a transgender, or did they assume that she was?
Michelle
is a woman.
Michelle is, I've always thought she was a woman until
so see, you
Joan Rivers, no, I assumed, but Joan Rivers said it, and I was like, well, let's check this out. And I looked at all these pictures, and it was weird.
But right before, anyway.
A jacket, yeah, it's like 110 here in Washington. Sarah's in a nice warm jacket from Bahaba. Yes, we want to feel like we're in Maine, so we wear nice cold jackets here. So yeah, well, anyway, Sarah's here to give me another backup moment for a few minutes while I take a break and gather myself for the final hour or half hour of the show. You heard that she was a guy before Joan Rivers talked about it?
Yeah, I did too. It was on that, those two people on the internet who said, so-and-so is blah, blah, blah.
No.
They were like, yeah, that video came out. And then,
I don't remember that.
Yes. Michelle Obama is a man.
Oh, that? Really? That preceded
that
Joan
totally
Rivers?
Preceded Joan Rivers, yes.
Irrefutable evidence that Michelle Obama is a man.
And there's a guy saying, I used to work in blah, blah, blah.
I was a criminologist, and I worked with other transgenders. Me and my wife have been studying. Oh, here it is, right here. Irrefutable evidence.
Oh, say, can you see?
This video will present irrefutable and scientific proof that will establish beyond any reasonable doubt that Michelle Obama is in fact a man who prefers to present himself and who prefers to dress up as a woman.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the video.
That's the video,
and
yeah.
That came out before.
Well, you've got a better memory of that event than I do, because I remember Joan Rivers coming in. Well, there you go. Let's get back to what really matters.
But it did happen. That happened before Joan Rivers said it.
Okay, thanks for clarifying that. You know, you're helping a lot. You know, because I told.
And that's why that's why Joan Rivers said it. She's like, we all know, because she was watching that viral video.
Okay, well, Gawker called me up and said that we've heard that you support the idea that Michelle is a tranny. And I said, actually, no, I'm just repeating what Joan Rivers said. That's my take. But yeah, I still believe that at this point, after looking into it, that we have been deceived. All right, cool. But it doesn't matter. We all can disagree about, our perceptions of the problem. We all know there's a problem, right? Okay. And I hope Melissa collects on that lawsuit, because they didn't even do an autopsy on her mother. Looked like she got whacked. Yeah. Hepatitis C is the most deadly infectious disease in America today, everybody. If you are an IV user or a person who engages in unsafe sex or exchanging needles during unsafe sex or shooting up on heroin during unsafe sex, then you probably are going to get Hep C. It's a deadly disease that is affecting more and more people in America. An all-time high of 19,659 cases of it. And if you include that with pneumococcus and tuberculosis, we're looking at a number of deaths combined. All right, thanks for sharing. Just stay away from unsafe sex and rusty needles, doled out by heroin addicts. Yes, Hep C is curable. You can go on interferon, but that alone is like, will knock you on your butt. That's what I've heard. Hey there, Flanker. Hello. Okay, Sarah, I'm going to let you kind of take over. You do such a good job of communicating in a different way than I do.
I'm just different. Yeah. I don't use a lot of needles, so.
Okay, well, I'm going to replace myself with a cowbell if you...
I mean, I don't do sewing or anything like that.
If you want to hit the cowbell button during your show to help calm people down, that's what I do. Just go like that. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Sounds good. Just leave it there whenever I want to play a cowbell song. Alright. I am a little bit of a gamer girl, but I haven't gamed in a long time. I don't have time. Yeah, that's what David says too, Oblivion's Blaze, but I personally think omission is not lying. I mean, here's my thing. If I don't go around and tell everyone, oh, that looks so ugly on you, that's omission, right? Is that lying to them if I don't tell them that? No, I don't think so. Yeah, totally. There is a chemtrail behind the cow. Oh my goodness. I don't think David saw that before. He's gonna be like, that poor cow got chemtrailed. I like this. No, I can't do that. I think if you didn't see a letter jacket, you just made an assumption. Seriously. Well, the cow's like, what's going on with the sky, man? Yeah, what happened to Leah? How is she doing? The cow's tripping. I mean, doesn't the cow look like he's tripping? He's like, why are you videotaping me? Oh, fun. Video games are fun. If you have time to play them, I guess it's okay. No, you can have a candlelight dinner at your house while watching my video. There you go. That's as close as you're gonna get to a candlelight dinner with me. Thanks, 217. Alright, I was gonna check out what's going on in the news, but there wasn't much going on earlier. At least in Google News, so maybe I'll check another source. I think you need an apostrophe in which is short for we are. Can't stop because you don't stop. Blah 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 blah. Oh yum, spring rolls. Was that the video that David showed me earlier? Oh my goodness, I meant to get rid of the cowbell picture and I got rid of myself. So now I have to add myself back in. Now I'm just a disembodied voice. There was a thing earlier that said, you know, all these artificial intelligences are coming out now. And they said a lot of the artificial intelligences happen to skew female. And why is that? Etc., etc. And that basically people are more comfortable with female voices. Especially when you're talking to a disembodied voice. Go. Okay, let me go in here. Set it so I'm not don't have so much gain exposure on my forehead. That's pretty good. Brightness a little bit. Right, there we go. Alright. What? Oh, how fun is that? When's your birthday? Happy birthday. I didn't realize it was your birthday. Okay, sounds good, Scissor. Oh, whoever said BRB. Allura. I have to set up the camera. May 6th? Oh, fantastic. How fun is that? So Friday, that should be fun. Check something. Check out Real Sotre's Poverty. Thank you, 298. Sotre's Poverty? Oh, Real Stories, Poverty. Oh no, I am frozen. What happened? Just a sec. Oh, what should I do? I don't want that. I want like... Oh, that's not right, I don't think. I don't think I have my settings right. Well, it looks pretty good. Okay, let me get the color going again. And then let me go back to camera. it's British, but it's sad of all the people that are in poverty, I bet. Alright, there we go. I think that's good enough. Thank you, 217, but you know I'm totally David's, no matter what. They follow kids around, and it's their life of how they live poverty. Yeah, the Appalachian poor. I always, like, I watched this one video about Appalachia, and I was like, why don't they take the, like, there was this broken down car. I was like, take the windows out of the car and use those to build a greenhouse. So that then you could grow food inside the greenhouse. And like later in the documentary, the car's still sitting there broken down and the windows smashed up. Oh. Half of teens admit to being addicted to their phones. The other half were too distracted by their phones to answer the questions. That's funny. The other half can't afford the phones. Yeah, it is sad with all the poverty everywhere. For sure. You know, it's like with of course I go back to education all the time, but when you talk about education, they expect kids to come in and learn all these things, but they're just struggling to get by. It's teens e-cigarette exploded. Guess I'll have to go look that up or not. I went to go delete the cow and I deleted our video, so it might not be exactly right. You might need to work on that.
Oh yeah, it's an art form to broadcast, really.
Well, maybe the output, I don't even know if I'm outputting correctly.
Yeah, it's going to default to 800 by 448, so we'll go to 864 by 480 and readjust the camera inputs. You did pretty good. Yeah, getting rid of things in this show. There should be a lock button they should make for this broadcast system that we use. We use XSplit, and it definitely there we go. All right.
Oh, that's crazy. Deep down. So the White House was caught blackmailing the EU to force them to import GMO and hormone-laden products.
Yeah. And this reveal came from TTIP, the recent breakthrough. The Greenpeace managed to get a copy of the leaked document exposing the EU's GMO product plan. EU has resisted GMOs. Russia says no to GMOs. EU says no to GMOs. And they're using the trade relationship with America to blackmail. Yeah. And the White House caught blackmailing EU to force them to accept the GMOs is really the tip of the iceberg. A lot of bad things are going on behind the scenes, folks, by corruption in America and around the world. In a stunning revelation, secret documents reveal the U.S. pressuring the EU to approve the controversial Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership, TTIP, the trade pact through coercion and threats. The 240 pages of leaked text from the secretive trade pact reveal the Obama administration threatening to block European automobile imports into the U.S. if the EU continues to refuse U.S. genetically modified products and hormone-related produce. So in other words, the Monsanto Dow chemical lobby is stronger than even the EU. And they're using that to push their products around the globe. These are cancer-producing products, by the way. Many of these GMOs have been found to cause tumors in laboratory animals. Anything that takes on glyphosate, sucks it in systemically, and can go into your body and cause a tumor needs to be stopped, folks. We need to build this third party because they're never going to stop this. The third party is the only way. We're never going to get an accountability from the two parties. I'm telling you, we are in a tough situation here. Many of you people don't realize how screwed you are, but we are literally at the point where if we don't get accountability from these people, They're going to keep recklessly destroying the earth and your bodies. Yes, stop the GMOs, stop forced vaccinations. I can see if mom and pops want to vaccinate their kids, put together the basic package that I got when I was a kid, 7 vaccines, not 74 vaccines. That's how many kids are taking in now. In some states, they're forced to do it. Well, the Roundup is causing cancer. Anything sucking in more glyphosate than any other plant is going to cause cancer. Crops rotated on ground that was once covered with GMO products. Sometimes they grow oats on products as a rotational crop, and they suck in just as much glyphosate as the GMO products. So you can't always guarantee non-GMO is going to be safe. This glyphosate is the most horrible product ever created. You see, folks, in the 1940s, when World War II was over, we no longer had a need for a chemical warfare industry. So the government authorized contract renewals on Dow Chemical even though we weren't at war. So gradually they figured out ways of using those chemicals, the very chemicals we use in chemical warfare, on its own people. And nobody in government's ever acknowledged this or really attacked it. Blogger Gary Welsh dies in apparent suicide. Prominent Indianapolis blogger Gary Welsh has died, according to Indianapolis police, who say they were investigating the death as a tragic suicide. He wrote widely followed conservative blog Advance in Indiana. Yep. They were dispatched to his house. They received a report of a person found shot in the stairwell of the building. Who shoots themselves in a stairway? Usually somebody finds a safe place in their house to put a gun to their head. Not that that's a good thing, but anyway, what a disaster. This guy was the guy trying to get accountability in the Indiana election committee. He felt that there was rigging going on in the ballots. So ironically, he dies the day that the election moves completely in Trump's direction. Wow. Trump and Bernie.
Yeah, thank you, Puff the Magic Dragon. I'll go watch the Real Stories series. Okay.
Thank you, Sarah. All right. I did check out that Netflix series called Sense8. It's pretty good. I remember watching it before, and I'm getting back into it.
The one with the lesbian thing?
Yeah, it had a little lesbian scene in it. It made me feel uncomfortable when the lesbians were in it. Yeah, but I'm getting back into it. We got past the lesbian scene. It's got season 2 in the works. Other people like it, so I think I'm going to watch more of it. We're also watching a couple of good shows now. We go through all these episodic TV shows now at Netflix. Crossing Lines. It's a good one. I'm getting back into Crossing Lines. We've just finished a couple of American Odyssey. That was a good one. No, I'm not aroused by that. It's pretty cool. Matrix directors behind it. Yeah. The two sisters. They were brothers, now they're sisters. It's fascinating. They both became transgenders. The Walensky's, the Wachowskis. This is a powerful statement. In a time in the world where 70% of the general population is on at least one prescription drug, when 50% of teenagers are on at least one prescription drug, where hundreds of thousands of people are dying of overdoses from legally prescribed medicine, and drug corporation CEOs have been caught illegally hiking in costs of medicine in the name of profit making, a group of activists are taking a stand against the system. So Anonymous Op Pharma is starting. Well, that's good. You know, just because Anonymous has been co-opted by the government doesn't mean that you can't start your own little minor party. So we started America's Third Party, and you know, we have no contamination from secret societies or the government. We've never received any personal donations from people saying, hey, you better do this for us or something. Yeah, so we're kind of insulated from the corruption the government has taken over, Anonymous and WikiLeaks and all those others. The nice thing about us is we are 100% FEC compliant, which means that we have held ourselves to such a high bar that we can't be contaminated with corruption. We are the anti-corruption party. That's basically the best way to describe what's going on. Because we do have a corruption problem. Day by day. Okay. Irrefutable evidence that Michelle Obama is... Yeah, who cares? Boy, we are so far down the other road now, the road to ruin. It's ridiculous. And so many people are under the impression that, well, my pension check could cover the cost of living in the future and everything will be fine. Yeah. Wait till a loaf of bread is $75. Even your hush puppies will cost you $300. Thanks, Expired Food Chef. We have more to concern ourselves really with the growth of artificial intelligence. So, and I'm not the only one who said this. There's a guy with slightly less intelligence than I have named Stephen Hawking, and he's starting to talk about what I've been talking about for years. And he won't even talk about chemtrails. That's what's really funny. Stephen Hawking refuses to talk about chemtrails. Well, no, I'm going to have your IQ tested again. David, where can I buy the Top Wives Guide on Thank You? You know, you don't buy Top Wives. You find a woman online that you can really relate to. You love the way I hate sex talk. That's cool. Does that turn you on? You getting aroused by the fact that I don't like sex talk? A lot of people do, you know. You're not the only one that gets aroused by not talking about sex. Yeah, taxes should go as they're written. I agree. We should have like a earmark tax system, but it's not happening. This is the thing, you know, forcing change is not going to work. It doesn't work that way. Change is something that happens organically. It's a natural formation. I mean, who would ever expect our country to change to the point where we have a police state with over 4 billion rounds of ammunition ready to go to be used against its own people? I mean, that's change, isn't it? You consider that change? It's a big change, I would say. You need a person who can be assertive. I don't know anybody who can be more assertive than me. This photograph was taken during one of my episodes. I couldn't believe this. I looked intimidating. Yeah, I was like, man, that's up there with... yeah, that looks very intimidating. That's up there with Attila the Hun. Yeah, but I'm not that kind of a guy. I'm a pretty easygoing guy when it comes to negotiating. And I don't have a huge bone to pick with people that disagree with me. I agree to disagree almost all the time. But if you really want to find a woman in your life, go 5 miles away and come back. And you'll meet that woman. Because geographically speaking, you can't commute to your future bride. It's not going to happen. Not everybody thinks I'm gay, just you do. The ones who are suffering from latent homosexuality and are secretly attracted to me. You are the guys, and I guess there's some lesbians in here attracted to me too. You're struggling with deciding whether you're gay or not because you're frustrated. Yeah. I understand what's happening to you. You're not alone. You need to seek help, though. Ask your doctor why you feel like you're becoming a latent homosexual. I do believe in love. I don't believe in internet love. It's impossible. Let me tell you about the internet. I know, I can tell that. Let me tell you about the internet. I met Sarah online in 1998, and it was a magical time when it was possible. This is the protocol that you follow, okay? First of all, guys have got to go to girls. If you're a woman and you're trying to meet a guy, or maybe a butch or whatever you're into, don't drive to her or him. Let them drive to you. If the aggressive person in this relationship should be the man, and I'm not trying to gender type you, I'm trying to help save you from a lot of hassles. If you're going out to see them, the guy thinks that, oh, well, I can play the field and you're just one of the many. But if he's going to see you, you know he really, really is on to you. He's into you. He's attracted to you. And I did that with Sarah. I actually got her on the phone. First, I sent her an audio clip of my voice, which I've never played online, although I have a copy of it at my fingertips right here. But it's personal. And I just sent her saying, hey, this is David. And that's all it is, just a recording. And then she liked my voice, so I talked to her then after that. I sent her a little audio clip, a WAV file of my voice. You know, we can certainly look at Pat Buchanan. I'd be open to discussing his policies. I know I'm carrying the torch for the Reform Party in some ways by getting rid of government waste. And I would love to, you know, if Pat Buchanan would ever contact me, but highly unlikely. David, you need to watch for a little knowledge and leverage. You're forgetting that there is very little leverage when you're censored. And the reason why I'm running for president is because I virtually have no clout, political clout at all. And neither do you. Okay, the chimp victim is having some problems with her face transplant. Hartford, Connecticut. The Connecticut woman who underwent a face transplant 5 years ago after being attacked by a chimpanzee is back in a Boston hospital after doctors discovered her body is rejecting tissue from the transplant. Dr. Pomahawk, director of plastic surgery transplantation, said that Charla Nash has experienced a moderate rejection episode and the transplant is not in jeopardy. Good. That's encouraging. Well, you know, at least she has a face. God love her. You know, that's so horrible to be attacked by a chimpanzee and nearly killed. I was nearly attacked by a bear when I was a kid at camp. Luckily, I was able to get to safety in time. 7 big banks settled a U.S. rate rigging lawsuit for only $324 million. First they rate rig, make billions, and then they settle out of court for $324 million. Wow. Boy, do they have a scam or what? Bernie's never going to figure that one out. If Bernie were to become president, he couldn't even get a handle on this. He's kind of clueless, to be honest. 7 of the world's biggest banks have agreed to pay $324 million to settle a private U.S. lawsuit, accusing them of rigging an interest rate benchmark used in the $553 trillion derivatives market. The settlement made public on Tuesday. It requires court approval, but resolves antitrust claims against B of A, Barclays, Citigroup, Credit Suisse, Deutsche Bank, JP Morgan Chase, and Royal Bank of Scotland. Several pension funds and municipalities accused 14 banks, including those that settled, of conspiring to rig the ISDA fix benchmark from 2009 to 2012. Yeah, there's no real mention of how much it would have, what the settlement really is masking, and how much they made during that time period. There's no way of knowing. Software update BRICS, 286 million Japanese satellite, Apple and Microsoft seen taking notes. Wow. Software update destroys $286 million Japanese satellite. Wow. This is hackaday.com. I don't know if the source looks legit. I've never been to the site before. The Japanese X-ray telescope Hitomi has been declared lost after it disintegrated in orbit, torn apart when spinning out of control. The cause is still under investigation. The early analysis points to bad data in a software package pushed shortly after an instrument probe was extended from the rear of the satellite. So they put a software package in there to help with the instrument probe, and the space agency JAXA, the Japanese space agency, has lost $286 million. $3 3 years of planned observations, and a possible additional 10 years of science research. Wow. This was an unmanned satellite that could have been very, very fruitful for Japan and hasn't worked out too well. You love the video? Oh yeah, this is a good one. It's primate behavior. A study of primates and firearms. On that note, I think I'll check out of here. Because I can't stop. And I won't stop.
Hey, no.
No! He can't stop! No!
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop.
All right, everybody, thank you for coming in.
Can't stop and we won't stop.
We'll be back tomorrow with a Technology Thursday show. Remember, the big waste out there is the military budget.
In this coming election year, it's over David Sondheim.
And I want to shrink that to half of what they're paying now.
Sondheim for president. Can't stop, can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop.
First we hit them low, then we hit them high. Underrated, but we made it to the finish line. Rhymes designed to combine and intertwine. Spring to the summer, fall, even winter time. Beats banging harder, then head on collisions. We make incisions with precision and quick decisions. Causing double visions if you ain't up to speed. You need to speed it up, partner. Piano read.
Can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop.
In this coming election year, it's over David Sondheim. America's Third Party.
Yes! All right, everybody, thank you for coming in. We'll be back tomorrow night, like I said.
Can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight.
And we're going to stop the song now. Hey, thanks, everybody. That was Scissor Fight's original Can't Stop song. This is awesome. I think I stopped the song, so thank you for coming in, Carpet Muncher. And Rex, thanks so much, Scissor Fight. You're an awesome link provider. Thank you for that. Good stuff throughout the show. We talked a lot about the endless government corruption, the need for fresh water in America, and solutions that will really kind of solve the country's problems as opposed to a lot of lies. Talk is cheap coming out of Clinton and Trump. And I had to do the unthinkable to make fun of this bad president we've got, but as you can see, I've been out there slugging for 7 years trying to expose the corruption in Washington with the two-party system. All right, so we go immediately to Cowbell and then on to videos all the way to 2 in the morning. So thanks again for coming in. We'll see you later.